Hello and welcome to Connor Field tonight for this matchup between the Mount Zion Preparatory Academy Warriors and the Loyola Blakefield Dons here on this senior night for the Loyola Dons as they came out through their tunnel. I'm Brooks Markle alongside Asher Davis. Let's take a look at these two teams going at it tonight. The Mount Zion Academy Warriors enter this game with a record of 4-4, not in any conference, as they schedule their games one by one, and Loyola enters with a record of 5-3 and 3-2 in the MIAA conference. As the only common game between these two teams is McDonough, where Mount Zion lost 22-6, and Loyola lost them 42-21. But that is all they have played in common as these two teams go at it tonight.
Yeah, this is a pretty big game for the Dons. It's senior night. Everyone's getting really excited. A lot of parents in the crowd tonight looking to cheer on their sons. Walkout was really inspiring. Got to see a lot of fellow classmates from me and Brooks walking out arm in arm with their loved ones. So looking to be a good game tonight between these two teams. I know I was talking to a lot of guys about this game beforehand, and they were talking about how excited they were because this is going to mean a lot to them going down the road and through college, through their entire life. So really big game tonight. Hoping it's a good one.
Yeah, and this will be the last game before the Loyola Dons play in the MIAA Conference playoffs, currently seeded third and in the standings. Tonight they can't really decide their own fate. That is going to be up to the other teams around them. But we're currently on a little delay here with some problems with the scoreboard right now as these two teams wait around and they look to get that problem sorted out. So we will take a break until they get the scoreboard sorted out, and we'll be back for game time. Never mind. Never mind. Looks like they got the scoreboard up right as I say that. So
thank you to Mr. Morrell.
Yep. They fixed that issue. They were putting up displays for the senior night and pictures of the players, their names, numbers, and positions. And within that graphic, I think technology had some issues, but now it is all sorted out and ready to go, unfrozen and set up.
Kendrick Worthington back to take the kickoff today. A lot of energy getting ready for in the stands and on the field here.
So all 22 players out on the field, and we are ready to go. Blake Moore sends the kick away, and this one bounces and picked up at the 14-yard line by number 14, Ezra Carter, who will get up for a couple of yards and be taken down at the 22-yard line, and that is where the Dons offense will come out and start up.
Nice job by Ezra Carter making sure that one doesn't really get away from him and trying to find some space. Mount Zion definitely closed down on him quickly, but almost bounced out to the outside. But definitely that ball security there in the opening play was very important.
So 1st and 10 now for the Dons. To get us started here, Brad Cease to take the snap from the shotgun, and he's going to throw, and across the middle it goes, and it's too high, looking for Carter, and that makes it 2nd down.
Not a bad look by Cease, but there definitely wasn't any real separation from Ezra Carter, so not necessarily a bad throw. Just, going to go over his head there, but definitely better than the alternative of an interception because there was really no one open.
Cease now goes under center after the incompletion on first down. He's going to pitch it to Kendrick Worthington running to his right, and Worthington not much doing there, and that'll make it a 3rd down and long.
Yeah, that was not the play the Dons were looking for on 2nd down there. Worthington was just kind of trying to follow the blockers there, looking for any sort of space. Cut back in there, but there's simply not enough speed in the world to get by 4 different dudes within 1 yard of you when you cut back inside.
Yeah, but Worthington, he has been a huge part of this offense in this year so far and in this season. And he is only a junior, so they'll have him back next year. And he is really an athlete and has plenty of size and strength here as the Dons set up here for 3rd and 9. Cease dropping back across the middle, goes, and the pass is complete to Michael Robinson. And the Dons move the chains on 3rd and long.
Nice look there by Cease, just kind of snapping the ball out. You could definitely see the flick of the wrist. There was a lot of speed and power behind that. And definitely a good catch by Michael Robinson. Definitely felt there was a presence around him, didn't let that phase him. Kept it secure, wrapped it up in his chest, and that was a very nice conversion from the Dons right there, making sure that that momentum of senior night kept alive.
So 1st and 10, they're going to give it off, and a couple of yards gained there. Taking the carry was Mason Russell, the sophomore running back.
Yeah, that was definitely a run-of-the-mill 1st down. Pick up a couple of yards, just try and make sure that they don't end up in that 3rd and long situation they just had to kind of dig themselves out of. But nice look there, right up the middle.
Yeah, and I think we'll see the Dons use the run on 1st down more often, considering making that incompletion on 1st down makes it 2nd down and long, and that ended up 3rd and long. Puts you in a tough spot as they give it off to Russell, again making moves, and the chains are moved again into the Warriors' territory with a 1st down to the 45.
It's nice that they have sort of an on-again, off-again running back situation in the backfield where Kendrick Worthington can kind of be more of a bell cow guy, and then Russell comes in with a lot of speed, agility, and he really just can find the hole well and, use that speed to really get through and pick up some extra yards.
Yeah, and Russell remains on the field here. 1st down in motion is Moore. Gets the pitch. Moore makes a move, cuts back to his left, reversing the field, and Jaden Moore's got the 1st down, and he goes out of bounds as Cease helped him out with a block, and we're going to get a flag as Moore was taken down out of bounds, and that'll move the Dons, I believe, into the red zone with the penalty as well.
Yeah, I don't know if that penalty was frustration or something, but nevertheless, Jaden Moore did an absolutely great job there of cutting back. He saw that he didn't have any room there, and instead of trying to force it and follow his blockers, he saw that there wasn't really a lot of Mount Zion players on the right side of the field, and he's just got that speed. He's got a large frame, so he's really able to use his relatively long legs to just burst around the outside.
Yeah, I mean, incredible agility and speed from Jaden Moore. Not a big kid, but, I mean, he is just one of the best athletes we have. Maybe the best athlete on the team, but at least in this school, just can really do it all.
Absolutely,
and just
yeah.
completely reverse his field as now the Dons have it in the red zone at the 12-yard line as Cease will hand it off. It's Worthington this time who gets a hole, and Worthington goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Loyola.
That was a great opening touchdown and opening drive from Loyola there. Really not a lot of stuff to complain about. You could just see a lot of touchdowns. You put a lot of the reward on the running back, but you have to give a lot of credit there to the offensive line. The hole that Worthington had there was huge. Really not even a lot of work for him to do.
Yeah, and it goes back to that 3rd and 9 conversion on that first set of downs, and from there the Dons were cruising down the field, and they are in as it's now Owen Sheen to put the extra point through, which he does to make it a 7-0 lead here in quarter number 1 with 9:13 remaining. A very quick score and quick drive from the Dons.
Loyola definitely used the run game to really establish a presence up the middle in that opening drive. While that first set of downs didn't necessarily go as they wanted when they were leaning towards the pass, you could kind of see Coach Zayu switch it up and just attempt to really force the middle of the field to be controlled by the Dons, which allowed for that large run by Jane Moore when he decided to press it out to the outside, because knowing that Mount Zion had to respect the middle means that the outside's going to be a lot more open for quick guys like Jane Moore.
So now the Mount Zion offense looks to respond after they let up 7 quickly. These two teams played last year on this field, and Loyola won the game 14-12. So we will see how it plays out tonight.
It's definitely going to be a really important drive for Mount Zion, because there's a lot of momentum for Loyola right now with their senior night energy.
End over end kick, and it is bobbled around, now finally picked up and trying to get forward, and doing a good job after the bobble was Isaiah Perry. But it'll be a not great field position to start this drive for the Warriors.
Yeah, good job there recovering that fumble, but that was almost disaster. Like I was saying, had they lost the ball there, that would have been probably a nightmarish start for the Warriors. But another good thing for Loyola there is that a lot of times teams, when the ball is fumbled and then recovered, sometimes the tackling kind of breaks down and a lot of that structure of your defense falls apart because there's chaos. But they didn't really let that happen there, so they do have bad field positioning, the Warriors, that is, because of that efficiency.
At their own 17, they will run it on 1st and 10, and not much doing there as a jumble of guys got in there for the tackle.
Yeah, that was a really good job. I believe it was one of the defensive linemen who slowed him down there. And you could see that the Warriors were trying to establish that same up-the-middle presence early on in this game. And if it continues like that for Loyola, they're not going to be able to get it. That was a really good job of the Dons getting to the ball and making sure that he had nothing.
That was Jashawn McIntyre, the sophomore, getting the carry. Gets a couple. It is now 2nd and 8. Under center again. And it'll be a play action this time, and in trouble, rolling out to the left and getting away, throwing downfield, and it is incomplete as the pass was intended for Bryce Gordon from quarterback Brian Resto.
Good job by Brian Resto right there, getting out of a dangerous situation. That was number 50 on Loyola, Luke Randazzo, just bearing down on him. He barely had enough time to get rid of that ball. And really, that could have been way worse for the Warriors, as they would have been pinned up against their own end zone.
Yeah, and the catch right on the sideline almost made there, but just unable to get his feet in. It was too close to the sideline. And it'll make it a 3rd down and long. 3 on the play clock. Snap is taken, Resto throws and completes it, and a good tackle is made as getting low was Jesse Legree as Graves made the catch, and it makes it a 4th down and short. It's 4th and about 2.
That was a nice quick curl route there from the Warriors, and it wasn't necessarily enough, but that's really because of the efforts of the defensive backs on the Loyola side, just making sure that he got nothing after that carry and keep forcing the 4th down. I think they're going for it, though.
Yeah, deep in their own territory. They are going to go for it on 4th down, and it is 1 yard. Man motion next to Resto. That is McIntyre. And the play clock runs down to 0 here as the officials will finally blow the whistle after the play clock was on 0 for a while. It will be a delay game, so seemed like they were just trying to draw the Dons offside.
Yeah, that's a strategy that's used a lot nowadays in the NFL, just sacrificing what is meaningless yards, really, for the opportunity to get a free first down.
So
Yeah. Awesome.
So the punt gets away up into the air and getting a good Mount Zion bounce to just past the 40-yard line. And that is where Loyola will start their offense, as getting the kick away there was C.J. Spence. This is a pretty short roster for Mount Zion, only 22 guys on their sidelines, so definitely going to have to be guys that are going to have to play multiple roles in this game, as C.J. Spence is also a defensive back, as you see him at the 40-yard line and moving up now on the defensive end after punting that one away.
There's a lot of space on this right side for these Loyola receivers. Definitely a mismatch.
Keeping it is Jaden Moore, who took the snap, and he won't get much, if anything at all. It's second down.
Yeah, again, trying to use that speed that Jaden Moore has right at the middle, which they've been trying to weaken up in that opening drive. But Mount Zion's definitely well adjusted to that now, and just bringing them down real quick. No-nonsense tackle there.
And it's definitely tough when you have Jaden Moore taking the snap with his athleticism. He can do a lot with the ball.
He used to be a quarterback before switching over to the wide receiver position, so there is that kind of dual threat that he has there, although I doubt they'll use that here.
It's a run, and it is Russell, and he loses about a yard, and that makes it third down and long here, just like the last drive, a third and long after that first set of downs, and I believe we'll see Cease throw it here.
Yeah, back in that third and long positioning, they're going to hope for a replication of the first one, but that is sort of a lucky opportunity that they got there, getting a long pass open. But it is important to note that the Warriors have not really been respecting that right side of the field with those three Loyola Dons wide receivers. So if it is a pass play, they might be able to get some room on the outside.
Cease going across the middle, and he was looking for Ezra Carter, who got his hands on it but couldn't bring it in. And that'll bring up a fourth down.
Ezra Carter almost had that one in there. He got in some space, a little bit of separation, and definitely had the defensive back over the top, but just couldn't reel it in. You could see it kind of glance off his fingertips. There was some people open on the right side, but it started to develop it a little bit after Cease had kind of chosen to throw to Carter. One of those moments where you wish you could get that one back.
So 6:45 left in this first quarter. Dons with their first punt of the game as Shing gets this one away. And this one bounces and is going to hit a Dons player. And that'll have the Warriors start at the 26.
Dons got kind of lucky there with the ball hitting their player's leg, because it was definitely taking a Warriors bounce.
So 2 drives for Loyola so far. They cashed in quickly with a touchdown on the first one and then go 3 and out on the second one. As for Mount Zion, they did not move the chains on the set of downs they had in their drive and punted. So looking to get a first down here and get a drive together.
Loyola's student section is starting to really show up here now for senior night. The theme is whiteout, if you were curious, which is kind of ironic considering the Mount Zion's whiteout, but, you know, that's besides the fact.
So it is Resto to take the snap. Man motions in front of him. Pressure comes. Pass goes left, and it is complete. But right there to make the hit is Maurice G. And that'll be a completion for a loss to make it second down and 13.
That's one of those plays where you could see what was going to happen a mile away. As soon as that ball was out of the quarterback's hand, you could see G just bearing down on the wide receiver in the backfield. And he's lucky that that didn't jar the ball loose, honestly, because that was a solid thump.
That was senior Isaiah Perry who made the completion but didn't have any time to do something with it.
Definitely inspiring this Loyola defense and spectators after that sort of disappointing drive they just had, bringing the juice back.
Pass goes left again and incomplete as he was looking for Jacasay Graves.
Mount Zion has really been going for these kind of quick outlet passes, trying to make something happen after the catch, but Loyola's defensive backs have not been biting. I mean, you saw that play by Carter earlier last drive, and you saw that play just now by Maurice G. They're kind of ready for this, and that low throw and subsequent drop that you just saw there might be sort of a consequence from that solid defensive back play. You know that they're going to be there, so you have to respect that and get the ball out quick. But they have not really tried anything past 5 yards out.
We haven't seen anything downfield so far thrown from the Warriors. They go 3 receivers to the left. Pass now going downfield and incomplete off the hands of Isaiah Perry, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That play is going to be a lucky one for the Dons. Definitely one that Isaiah Perry wants back. Like I was saying, they were going for those kind of short completions, so the Dons' defensive backs had pressed up, sort of got comfortable with the idea of respecting them within the 5-yard line. So when Isaiah Perry took off, they were definitely caught a little bit off guard. And Perry has some speed and definitely some cutback ability, so that drop right there is definitely going to be a lucky break for the Dons, but they can't let him get that wide open down the field again because he will just zoom by.
So on to punt it again is C.J. Spence. And it is blocked. Blocking loose on the ground. And I'm not sure who got on it, but it doesn't matter. Wherever the ball is spotted, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Loyola Dons.
Huge play there from the Dons defense after a really solid and stout defensive drive. They're not going to let Mount Zion get it away. And this field positioning is already within field goal range. So going up 2 scores this early in the game with momentum could be huge. Let's see what they do. I'm betting they start this drive off with a little bit more of those up-the-middle runs that you see. They don't need a lot of yards to score here. And playing safe up the middle, maybe bouncing something outside with Jaden Moore, one of the other speedy guys, is about all that I can see them doing.
Yeah, and they have relied on the run so far. It would make sense that they keep doing that, as it's more to take the snap, but he won't get one as a flag comes in for a false start.
Disappointing opening play here because you really want to keep that field positioning as perfect as it was, but definitely not too huge of a setback, only 5 yards, and they're still well within field goal range. Maybe not.
So 1st and 15 now. Moore still to take the snap, and he's going to roll to his right immediately and is going to tuck it and run. And Jaden Moore getting upfield, breaks a tackle, and Moore hops into the end zone for another Dons touchdown.
That was an ideal play for Jaden Moore. He was going the whole time. Really no slowing down there. You could almost see Mount Zion readjusting to his speed, but once he cut it inside just a little bit, they had a missed tackle there, and that's going to kill him, really. Just this close to the end zone, you can't miss a tackle like that, especially with the pristine blocking that was shown by the Loyola offensive line.
Yeah, the defender didn't wrap up, and Moore bounced right off of it and went to the end zone. His first of the game, as Kendrick Worthington had the first one, and it's 13-0 with Sheehang on for the extra point, and he makes it 14-0 with 5 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first quarter.
Huge opening couple drives for the Loyola Blakefield Dons. Again, they're really establishing the run game early on. Not a whole lot of passes. They did have that one big 3rd and 9 completion and that incompletion to Ezra Carter. But other than that, I mean, they are just establishing a presence up the middle and using Jaden Moore to just pick apart the outside. The blocking tonight has been great. And really not a lot of complaints here from Coach Zayu. You like to see it on that last play as well. He stuck with the formula even after that sort of penalty that set him back just a little bit, not giving up on the formula that he had, and paid off dividends.
Well, and I mean, it's really just give Jaden Moore the ball and see what he can do with it when you snap him the ball. And it can be hard as a defense whether they give it off to someone else or what he's going to do with the ball, because he can be such a threat. And surrounding him is Worthington and Russell in the backfield.
Absolutely, yeah. And Cease has been doing great throwing the ball as well, which makes it a definite dual threat at quarterback.
This kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. So after 2 3-and-outs, we saw from the Warriors, they look to make something happen, and the blocked punt really hurt them, giving the Dons good field position to cash in. But it doesn't seem like the special teams is really that deep with an actual specialized kicker/punter.
Yeah, agreed. It seems like they have a very limited roster, so a lot of these special teams opportunities have been setting them back. And special teams is really important for these field position things, which they're going to need to improve in that area in the future. But it'll be interesting to see this drive if they try and open up the field a little bit more with the deep passes, because they were sticking pretty conservative until that pass to Perry in the last drive.
So it's Resto under center, and he's going to pitch it to his back, trying to get room, and he will get a couple of yards upfield. That is McIntyre getting the carry.
Huge play there from Ezra Carter. There was a lot of space that had opened up in the middle for McIntyre there. And Ezra Carter actually dove around a block to try and slow McIntyre down so he couldn't take advantage of that space outside and possibly break it up for a larger gain. And that definitely helped the rest of the Dons get there on time. Again, these defensive backs for Loyola have been putting in a lot of work in tackling, actually, and coverage.
Gain of 4 on first down, another run on second, and not much doing there as the pile gets pushed forward by the Warriors to make something out of it. And that has them up for a first down at the 30-yard line. It looked like it was nothing, and the whole team converged on the running back. That was McIntyre, and they moved the sticks.
Yeah, I mean, that is a disappointing play for Loyola. Giannis Kligas has wrapped him up and sort of had a lot of momentum on him, but once that Warriors O-line got behind him and started pushing, and looked out like the Philadelphia Eagles out there, and they were just powering through the Dons. And not much you can do about that, except for really get low.
Resto in the shotgun for first down. They have 3 receivers to the right. And
Flag.
Whistle is blown as the play clock did expire, but they're gonna raise the clock up to 25, I believe.
And that is the second delay of game penalty that the Warriors have gotten. Oh, never mind. I don't think. Seems like they revoked that penalty there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the officials. It seemed like a delay of game, but then they called for the clock to go up to 25, so it'll be 1st and 10. As the play clock is now at 5, it should be pushed back up to 25, and it is. So now ready for play here. Same formation as it's Resto in the shotgun. 4-man rush from the Dons. Resto tucks it and runs forward for a couple.
Nice designed quarterback run there from the Warriors. There was a huge hole open on the right side, and he took advantage of it pretty much instantly. He used a lot of his quick feet and a couple of moves there to make a man or two miss, and pretty solid opening gain.
And it seems like the Warriors use a lot of linemen to block the quarterback rather than have 4 wide receivers, as we've seen this 3 wide receiver set that they've been running. And no receiver on the other side of the field as Resto throws it on the screen. It's complete. It's Perry getting forward for a first down to midfield.
Yeah, they're really relying on Perry here. He's definitely a core piece of the offense. You can see that to Isaiah Perry, they're just forcing it out to him a lot of quick throws, which is very reliant on the blocking of the wide receivers. And there it was impeccable. Ezra Carter trying to get out of that block, and the other defensive backs as well, just really had nothing going for him because of that good blocking on the outside, and that is a necessity for that play to work. And Isaiah Perry's speed got him out there quick for another nice pickup. The Warriors are really starting to roll. Uh, Brooks, what do you think they should do on the Don side to kind of slow them down?
Well, I mean, it doesn't seem like the offense has that many options, whether passing or running. So I think they can really play for the run, as this team, I think, struggles to throw the ball there, as they did right there, and get them for a loss. But that can be tested, and we'll have to see what Resto can do. But they've really only thrown one ball really down the field, and it went for an incompletion.
Yeah, but again, I think they need to try that deep ball at least a little bit, or one or two more times in this half, just to see if it works, because they're relying a lot on Perry here in these short plays, and the Dons just have too good of tackling on the outside for that to continuously working. So
Yeah, they got the first down there, but it will be hard to keep that up just on the screen. Man motioning is McIntyre. The ball is loose on the ground, and teams converge on it. Dons think they have it, and the official signaling that it is Loyola football.
That is crushing for the Warriors right there. Miscommunication on the motion play. You could see it kind of got away from the quarterback, and just for what seemed like an eternity hung between those two players, and it just dropped to the ground. But the Dons are going to use that momentum that they've just regained. You could tell that the Warriors were kind of starting to click on offense, maybe a couple of quick completions, moving them around midfield. But that fumble is going to be a real setback for them.
And no, they're going to call it an incomplete pass instead, because it was taken by the quarterback, and he threw it forward technically, even though it was about a yard. So that will actually be 3rd down and 10 for Mount Zion.
Yeah, and I have to say that is a good call right there, because like I was saying, I mean, he was in motion and it was in the backfield, but the quarterback pushed it forward, so you can't complain with that call.
Similar play, except Resto's going to throw, and he's got a man, and it is complete downfield, going to the end zone, and it is a touchdown. Wow. Colin Richardson, the tight end, 50 yards, and the Warriors are on the board.
Like I was saying, the Dons have to respect that down-low option. And so you're letting out now a receiver other than Perry run down the field, get wide open. And you're just not going to be able to make up 7, 8 yards of space in between two different players. And that's going to be a huge, huge reset for the Warriors, who, had that fumble happened, would have been in a really rough spot.
And after the slow start, that is a huge play to jumpstart this Warriors offense, as it seems like they are going to go for 2. And a lot of their scores have 12 or 6 on it, which means that, again, back to the special teams, I'm not sure that they really have much of a specialized kicker, so they are lined up to go for 2. And I think we're going to see the Warriors go for 2 a lot throughout this game, as Resto, who's trying to take that snap, play clock was winding down, and we're going to get a timeout from Mount Zion. So we'll take a break, our first break of the game. Loyola had 14-6. So back here for the point after, as the Warriors are still going for two after the 50-yard touchdown completion to Colin Richardson, who caught it and ran it in from Brian Resto. After it was almost Loyola ball in Mount Zion territory, but the fumble was called an incomplete pass. And now with the throw and the fade to the end zone, that's incomplete. It's an 8-point game, but still a much better position for the Warriors here as they will kick it off.
Really good defense there by Luke Rush, not allowing that fade to get too far into the back of the end zone. And that route can be devastating up close towards the goal line. And definitely the wide receiver there had an up on Rush, but he just kept it consistent and made sure that he was not going to get mossed right there. Really important play to make sure the momentum doesn't shift too far in Mount Zion's favor. And back to your earlier point, I do think that they're probably only going to go for two because although they have a kicking team that is able to operate, there's really not been any large or far kicks going on so far. So that's still definitely a developing part of this team. So I doubt we'll see a lot of extra point kick attempts.
And 5 of the 8 games that Mount Zion has played this year, they have scored 12 points. And if they score another touchdown and don't get a 2-point conversion, it will be the same situation there. And in the game that was played last year, 14-12 was the final score in Loyola's favor. So that's another game with 12 points for Mount Zion. Seems like they struggled to get 2-point attempts as well, as it's taken by Worthington, getting upfield. Kendrick Worthington still going forward, and the Dons will start in Mount Zion territory after they returned from Kendrick Worthington.
The Dons are 100% winning this field position battle, which is a sort of byproduct of this lacking special teams unit. You can tell that the kicker is really trying his best, but it's never going to get much farther than the 25-yard line based off his previous kicks. So it's really just important for the Loyola Dons to take advantage of these field positioning that they're getting. They're getting it so consistently, whether it be from blocked punts on the punt unit or from these really short kickoffs. It's important for these Dons to take advantage of what's being given to them, really.
But special teams is going to be a huge part of this game moving forward here, as Cease is in the shotgun, and he's going to drop back to throw. Pressure coming, throws it left side, complete. Jaden Moore is going to be tripped up and down at the 41-yard line, and that's a gain of 8, making it 2nd down and 2.
Nice job by Cease, recognizing that he had 2 players bearing down on him and getting that ball out quick to one of his faster guys and making sure that that turned into a positive. Or had he tried to hold on to that ball and see if something developed, Dons. Don's senior section or student section is starting to really get into this game.
It's going to be a run here, and getting forward is Russell making a cut. Russell getting the whole way down into the red zone at about the 15-yard line. And the sophomore Mason Russell really doing a good job here tonight for the Loyola Dons with the few rushes he has had.
Huge opportunity there, and the Dons snatched it up right, making sure that they can push forward and not waste this field positioning. And as you said, Russell has been an instrumental part of tonight's running offense. Worthington definitely putting in a lot of work, but Russell has been running it up the middle with speed, and the offensive line has been giving him huge windows. And right there you could see he just outran a lot of those kind of slower, bigger linebackers and got into that second level.
So that brings us to the end of the first quarter with the score 14-6. Loyola had threatening here on the Loyola Sports Network. So back here for the second quarter of action, it's 1st and 10 at the Mount Zion 16-yard line for the Dons. Cease in the shotgun, motioning Moore. Going to hand it off Worthington with a hole. Worthington to the outside, and Worthington take it down near the marker on 1st and 10 as the clock has not started to run.
Seems to be some confusion. Definitely a good run there by Worthington.
Well, I'm not sure what's going on here. The clock is not running. So that was so Loyola called a timeout actually with a second left, and the clock said that it was the start of the second quarter, which I saw Coach Zayu call a timeout on the sideline, but I'm not sure why you would call a timeout with 1 second left in the first quarter, as the play clock was not an issue. And we were also confused why they were not switching fields as well, but now they are switching fields.
Maybe there was something he wanted to see before that quick break. Maybe he wanted to keep that momentum going. Who really knows there? But that definitely worked out in his favor as Kendrick Worthington pushed that ball within the 10-yard line, if I'm not wrong, using a lot of speed. And again, the blocking tonight for the Dons has been fantastic. The defense has been holding it out on the outside really well with getting past those blockers and keeping the tackling. And the Dons have definitely been dominating this game so far. The scoreline of 14-6 has not really showcased the amount of good field positioning and powerful plays the Dons have had, and the consistency on defense has been really good tonight. So we'll see if they keep that consistency as they look to start the second quarter.
It's a run again with Worthington up the middle, who powers his way forward into the end zone for the touchdown.
Man, I would hate to be the guy trying to tackle Kendrick Worthington with a full head of steam. That you could see his shoulders really lower there, and he just pummeled it through. Again, that combo in the backfield is fantastic for these Dons. You got Russell with a lot of speed and agility, able to run it up the middle as well and make a lot of men miss. And then they have to respect Kendrick Worthington when he comes on the field, because Kendrick Worthington is not going to give you a lot of opportunities to, readjust to him, as he's got the speed, he's got the size, and he's definitely got the strength.
So on for the extra point is Shihing. And he puts this one through to make it a 21-6 Loyola lead over Mount Zion.
Now you got Mount Zion definitely in a bit of a hole, down 15. We're going to see what they can do on offense. I would definitely not be surprised if we saw some more of that deep ball being thrown, as I was saying before they actually completed it. Both of their attempts to throw the ball down the field and take advantage of some of the pressing up from the Loyola defensive backs have turned out well, even though one was an incompletion. So I'd be very interested to see what their strategy is, if they stick with the run game, if they stay with the short passes, or if they try and open up the field a little bit more. We'll see.
But definitely it's got to be a concern defensively with the way the Dons have come out and scored 21 points in 12 minutes and 5 seconds. And last year, only 14 points scored in the entire game for the Dons against this same team. So Shihing to kick it away with 11:55 to go in the second quarter. Just getting started here as this one booted into the air and taken inside the 10-yard line, moving forward with speed up past the 25-yard line. That was Perry.
A good job by Perry there, really just using some speed to get some solid field positioning. Again, it's not necessarily the same kind of gift-wrapped opportunities that the Dons have been getting, but at least now the Mount Zion's starting to figure out a way to get up to the normal starting point.
So ball at the 28 for the Warriors. And on to take the snap is Blake Moore. So a change at quarterback here for Mount Zion, and the throw is complete left side, making moves and spinning, and finally going down. That is Jakey Say Graves.
Definitely a good decision there to switch up a quarterback. That was a really nice opening look, and they got some of those short completions that they've been looking for all night. So maybe that change of quarterback threw off the Loyola defensive mindset that they had going in and getting a different read off the bat, but who knows?
So it's 2nd down and 4 after the completion on 1st down, and still at quarterback is Moore. 3 receivers to his right. Motioning is McIntyre, and is going to throw it out to McIntyre, and a good tackle made there. Chasing him down was Sam Navarre, the junior, and that will make it a 3rd down, stopping, no, it's going to be a 1st down. Just moving the chains by about a yard. Thought he might have stopped him up, but the gain of 5 gives the Warriors a 1st down.
That was definitely another example of Mount Zion using a lot of their players. They got a lot of shorter, quick guys, and you know it's really a huge part of their strategy. And McIntyre's been in motion a ton tonight.
Moore to take it from the shotgun again. Pressure coming from the Dons. Moore is just going to throw it to the sideline, incomplete. Good decision there to not lose any yards as the Dons were breaking through that offensive line.
Yeah, Tommy Tucker blew that play up before it even began. He got straight through the line and in the face of Moore. You could see they were looking for another kind of behind the line of scrimmage check down screen and see what could happen after, but nothing to it when Tommy Tucker's right there throwing off the rhythm.
Yeah, and I would like to see the Dons blitz a little more and put that pressure on this Mount Zion offense in that passing game.
Yeah, agreed.
Four-man rush. Moore throwing left. He's got a man. It's complete. It's Perry. Perry racing forward, and he's down at the 25-yard line.
The Loyola defensive backs, while they have been doing very well with that short completion action and keep making sure that there's not a lot of yards after the catch, they have not been able to lock down these deep balls and these, lofty passes coming from Moore and other quarterbacks. They need to adjust for that, or else this is going to be a rough performance defensively. Luckily for them, the Loyola offense has been doing great and has scored on 3 of their 4 drives, but they're going to have to readjust and figure out something up deep.
And it seems like Mount Zion has made the adjustment with Moore going in at quarterback instead of Resto because he has the better arm. And we'll see if they rely on the passing game more as they have so far in this drive. But they go to the run this time, and it's McIntyre getting forward, and McIntyre's in for the touchdown. A 24-yard rush from that's Jashawn McIntyre, the sophomore, and the 2nd touchdown of the game from the Warriors. And it's 21-12.
Difficult to readjust there for the Dons. Not a lot of time between that deep ball and the next play after. So the Dons having to readjust there and try and figure out what they want to do, which is why Mount Zion running up the middle with a very quick guy is going to be devastating for that defense to have to adjust to, especially since it really seemed like they were going to start taking advantage of those deep balls, considering that they've been very effective in all 3 of their attempts. But very good touchdown, very good blocking, and yeah, we'll see what happens on this 2-point attempt.
So it's Moore in the shotgun, play clock at 1, and it snapped right as it expired. Moore throws to the end zone and completes it to Perry, and the 2-point conversion is good, and it makes it a 21-14 game here with 9 minutes and 12 seconds left in this 2nd quarter, and now both offenses have settled in, and we're in for a high-scoring affair with the way it started.
Agreed. I think this game is going to be very much a high-powered shootout. There's going to be a lot of deep balls from Mount Zion, and you're going to have to watch out for that quick, efficient pass and run game down low with those quicker guys. But on the Loyola side, you can really see that they've been taking advantage of just kind of grinding the ball out and relying on chipping away at the Mount Zion middle before taking advantage of the outside with Jane Moore. I'd be very interested to see how the defense of the Dons adjusts, but you have to respect the strategy of going for two every single time because it has worked out at least once for them now, and you can kind of see why. They have a lot of quick guys on the Warriors side that can really make you pay when you get down low.
Yeah, this is definitely a very athletic Mount Zion team, and they may only have 22 guys on their sideline, but boy, can they all play and just be athletes and go out there and make plays.
And you can tell each one of them has a really critical role, and there's a lot of ability to be flexible with their position.
Oh, they're going with an onside kick, and it's bobbled around and recovered by that is the senior Zach Phillips right at midfield. So, again, with that limited ability on the special team side, you might as well go for the onside kick and almost worked out. I mean, this is really an unconventional game you're seeing, but Mount Zion is competing.
Yeah, it's almost like, for lack of a better word, you're playing Madden. You're going for two on every single time, and your kickoff team is not necessarily excelling. So going for an onside kick at an unexpected time is something I really like coming from the Mount Zion perspective. You're not going to get much better field position out of Loyola Blakefield's special teams who has really great returners. So why not take a shot and see if you can get the ball right back, especially down by only one.
Cease under center. He's going to go play action. Rolling to his right now. Redirects. Cease in trouble getting chased and gets away and throws it away.
Good job there by Cease. He had really no one open. Tried to cut it back and create some time and alleviate some of that pressure, but you could just see the Loyola offensive line after that around 4-second mark just collapsed because of that readjustment by Cease. Not much he could do there, but definitely a good decision to just throw it away, cut your losses, and good speed there to make sure that those losses were not intense because he was running backwards.
And it was a good job from the Warriors not falling for that play action and getting good enough coverage downfield for Cease not be able to make a throw, as Cease goes play action again and was looking for Carter, and he couldn't get it to him, as right there on the coverage was B.J. Brown, the senior, and it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, Ezra Carter was not able to get up for that enough, but the throw was definitely a little bit high there from Cease. I like the strategy of trying to pick up a couple of shorter yards on a quick out pass to Carter, but right there you could tell, again, much similarly to the play by G earlier in the game, they just were going to shut that play down the second that Carter had it in his hands. It's almost better for an incompletion there.
And I'm definitely a little surprised Loyola has not ran it at all, as that has had good success, but they're probably going to throw it again here on 3rd and long, and they are, as Cease has time, throws it, and it is dropped. Ezra Carter had the first down if he could bring it in, but he couldn't, and that brings up a 4th down, and the Dons will have to punt.
I mean, that was a play where you could just see on the sidelines and in the booth a little bit with me that there was a lot of hope for the Dons right there, but the ball just came a little bit low for Ezra Carter to reel in there. Cease getting the ball out really quick. Great job there, especially with the Warriors just coming straight at him, but not a lot you can do there with a ball coming that fast and that quick and that low. So Ezra Carter dropping that ball definitely has to take some responsibility for that, but really not much you can do.
So the Dons abandon the run on the drive and go 3 and out, as Shing is on to punt it away. Back there to return it is Perry, as this one high in the air, and Perry takes it, making moves but can't do much, as getting to his feet was Mason Russell, and it'll be a 14-yard line start for the Warriors.
Very impressive there from Mason Russell, just tracking him down, and that was one of those special teams plays where you just kind of tip your hat. Nothing much that he could do there. Even though he had some time to readjust and figure out what he wanted to do as a punt returner, Mason Russell just bared down on him, took him down by the legs, and there was no room to escape for him.
8:46 left in this second quarter, as the Warriors take the field down 7, coming off of a touchdown from Jashawn McIntyre. They go 3 receivers to the right, the common formation we've seen from this team. Blake Moore, the quarterback, throwing across the middle, incomplete as he was looking for Graves.
Graves was open right there in the middle, but you could tell that was not Moore's first read there. So that readjustment was definitely one that you're going to like to see as a coach, but the throw was, again, a little bit low and a little bit to his right.
So 2nd down and 10 now after the incompletion. No running back is back there with Moore. Snaps it with 7 on the play clock, and the throw goes low and incomplete as a tight window was there, and he couldn't quite fit it in, looking for Bryce Gordon, the senior, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, and you could see there that Mount Zion's trying to take advantage of some of their earlier successes with the deep ball. Once, now that these Loyola Blakefield defenders are going to have to give the Zion Warriors a little bit of space, they're going to have to respect that deep ball, but the short balls are starting to open up a little bit more, and you can see how those two kind of collaborate in terms of the short ball relies on there being a successful deep pass.
So a timeout is called by Mount Zion. We'll take a break on the Loyola Sports Network.
I can also move the mic.
So we're back here for 3rd down and 10. Deep in their own territory are the Warriors. Man in motion, Moore back to throw, throws it right side and incomplete. He was looking for Isaiah Perry, and that'll bring up 4th down and 10.
Perry got a lot of momentum there from that motion, and with his speed and his agility, that's a really threatening deep ball to throw, especially on that motion wheel route. But Maurice G got there, readjusted, turned around to face the ball, and got his hand in there to prevent what would have been a pretty important completion, getting that 3rd and long.
So on to punt it away will be C.J. Spence. He had it blocked last time, and oh, they're going to fake it. No, they're not. He was trying to avoid it to get away, and he couldn't get anything away, and it's on the ground, and the Dons will take over at that spot, and another position where the special teams is killing the Mount Zion Warriors.
This is a super unconventional way. If you're not very familiar with football in any way, you're not going to see a lot of these fakes, these onside kicks, or these 2-point conversions, but this game has been filled with them in only the first half. It's very interesting to see, and it's really not paid off very well for Mount Zion. The onside kick was recovered. A lot of these, only one of these 2-pointers went in, and that fake punt in their own territory was an interesting call.
I'm not sure if it was a fake punt. I just don't think that Spence could have gotten the kick away.
Oh.
And he tried to avoid it, couldn't. And the Dons take over, and it's Worthington keeping it. And he gets a couple on the carry. So it'll be 2nd down and goal from the 4-yard line.
Dons have gone back to that original kind of running the ball up the middle strategy. They're utilizing a lot of their flexibility in the backfield with Worthington taking the snap there, Jane Moore going in motion. You could see that the Zion Warriors are going to have to respect all of these huge threats in the backfield. Looks like Worthington's going to take the snap. Oh, nope, Moore is.
Yeah, Moore back to take the snap and is going to hand it off to Kendrick Worthington, who gets a hole, and Worthington is in for his 3rd touchdown of the game.
Worthington is having a monster game, and you can just kind of see why. A lot of these possessions have started within the Mount Zion Warriors 30-yard line. So just feeding that ball to Worthington, allowing him to just use these huge holes that are being opened up by the Dons offensive line has been, you know, really allowing them to cash in. Again, like you said, Worthington with 3 touchdowns, and it's not even halfway through the second quarter. It could be a career game for him tonight.
So a 2-play drive with the short field, 2 rushes, and a touchdown from Kendrick Worthington, and now a 28-14 lead for the Loyola Dons here with 7:44 left in the second quarter.
I mean, like we said, this is going to be a huge shootout. Yet another drive that results in a touchdown. We've yet to see either team have to settle for a field goal, although I don't know if Mount Zion will be doing that at any point in this game, considering that they've avoided kicking even an extra point. So this is going to be a very interesting game in terms of there's a lot of unconventional stuff going on, and these offenses are not shying away from taking risks and are definitely not afraid of losing good field position.
And moving forward in this game, I mean, again, you said not even halfway through this second quarter, this special teams for the Mount Zion Warriors is just going to really be crucial. And, I mean, it has really led to 2 Dons touchdowns with the, you know, I guess, blocked punts or, you know, botched punts that they've had. And, you know, moving forward, I mean, it's not like that's going to be the last situation where they're going to have to punt. I mean, it really changes the game.
Yeah, and when you say special teams, you often think of the kicking and punting units, which for Mount Zion have not been necessarily great, but the blocking on special teams has also been kind of falling apart for Mount Zion. So you have to wonder, when is that going to be fixed, and will it be fixed at all?
This is a low kick, and it's taken in by Perry, who's got some room to run, and Perry now goes down at the 30-yard line. As so far we have seen a game without any flags that has moved smoothly with lots of scoring. Or actually, we've seen a false start in there, but really has been just, you know, guys going out there and just playing solid football, besides the special teams, really.
Yeah. Really, besides what was, I believe, like an accidental early flag on, like you were saying, this has been a very clean game, and you can see during these games where not a lot of penalties are called, the strengths and weaknesses of these teams. Nobody's really getting bailed out here, so the special teams, that weakness has definitely been highlighted for the Mount Zion Warriors, and the deep ball is definitely the Dons' biggest detriment so far. So we'll see how each of those teams readjust.
Moore with time and tucks it and runs for a couple.
Yeah, pretty safe play there. Whereas with their first quarterback, Mount Zion kind of went for a lot of designed quarterback runs up the middle. This time, this was Moore's first run up the middle. So it's interesting, the differences between those 2 quarterbacks.
So 2nd down and 3 after 7 yards on the run from Moore. And the shotgun again takes the snap. Pressure coming. Passes complete left side for the first down for the Warriors as a flag comes in at the end of the play, and it looks like it's going to be a face mask for Loyola, as that was Jakey Graves.
Yeah, you can kind of see a hand slip into the mask. Yeah, right at the end of that play, the secondary tackler for the Dons just got his hand a little bit too close to the Warriors player's face, and it looked like it's going to be an illegal hands to the face.
It's going to be a face mask, which is a 5-yard penalty.
Oh.
So ball at midfield after the completion to Jaquise Graves and the extra yardage on the flag.
Yeah, and besides that right there, the tackling tonight has been great on the outside for the Dons.
Receivers bunched to the right. As here's Moore with time, throws it, and it's intercepted. And look out, Ezra Carter coming the way with room. Ezra Carter at the 20, the 10, and pushed out of bounds inside the 10-yard line.
Disappointing right there for the Warriors. Yet another field position battle lost, and these are getting more and more critical. You have to also give an assist there to Giannis Kligas. He was bearing down on Moore and forcing the ball out quicker than Moore really wanted to. He didn't have time to take all of his reads, and that deep ball has finally been adjusted for. The Dons have made the adjustments on defense to allow for Ezra Carter to have what is a great interception and a run back. Disappointing that he wasn't able to get that pick six on his senior night, but I'm sure he's not going to mind a nice little interception. Now that the Dons have made that adjustment, let's see if the Mount Zion Warriors are going to make any changes on the defensive side. So what would you say they need to do?
For Mount Zion's team, well, I mean, it first starts with not giving the Dons so good field position, but I mean, really, they have to adjust for the run and hope that the Dons passing game doesn't work out, because the run game between Moore, Russell, and Worthington has been the strength so far. And you saw the Dons go 3 and out when they threw it 3 times at midfield, so you hope they do that more, but it's going to be Moore to take the snap here as he motions and flips it to G, running to his right. Maurice G cutting up field, and he's in for the touchdown.
On his senior night, Maurice G with a huge touchdown. That's going to allow for the Dons to pull out ahead by 3 scores, and there is really no other way to put it. The Loyola Blakefield Dons are dominating this game on their senior night. You love to see that speed on the outside that Maurice G has so much of, and just, again, a crucial score. The Dons have not been able to pull out by more than 2 scores until this point. And again, still not halfway through the second half, and all of their touchdowns have been on a run or run design play. So it's really interesting to watch this happen.
That's technically going to go down as a pass with the little flip in front of him for Jaden Moore getting the passing touchdown, and G using his speed to get to the outside to go in. But, I mean, basically a run there.
Yeah, that's what.
And we're going to get whistles here and a timeout called from Loyola. So we'll take a break. 6:18 left in the second quarter. The Dons ahead by 20. So back here after the timeout, and it's Sheeing on to kick the extra point to make it a 35-14 game as we get some movement from the Warriors, which will be an offside. And now maybe Loyola will want to go for it with the better yardage or just have an easier extra point for Sheeing. And it looks like they're going to keep the special teams out there.
Yeah, Coach Zayu likes to really play things safe and allow his guys to just run the fundamentals of stuff. So I'd be very surprised if he decides to go for 2.
And the kick is up and through. So a 35-14 lead here for the Dons, and still not even halfway through this second quarter.
Yeah, this has been, no other way to describe it, as a dominant performance for the Dons in this first half. They're right now on pace to score more than 70 points in this game if they continue pushing as they have been. Probably more, honestly, because, again, we're still not at halfway through the second quarter. So there's been taking a lot of, they've been taking advantage of a lot of the opportunities that they've had. There's been a lot of quick scores due to the fact that this field position battle has been crazy. And
It's definitely had a weird feel so far throughout. Not really the energy around this game like it would for a normal MIA conference game, and it is out of league, but it just kind of feels almost like a scrimmage that's going on with some of the stuff we've seen and just how the Warriors act on the sideline and some of the body language from really both sides. But really, I mean, Mount Zion has great talent and has competed, but now the Dons are looking to pull away as a little squib kick we see and trying to make moves, maybe a bounce to the outside, going to cut through a hole, and that'll be good starting field position as that was Kayvon Waters making moves there.
And that is the second kickoff, I believe, from the Dons that has been more of a squib kick, trying to keep it down low and make it bounce around. So maybe because of that early and large lead that they have, or because they don't really need to worry about losing the field position battle, even if Mount Zion starts off with good field positioning. It seems like they're just trying to force what is kind of like a safer onside kick. Maybe they're trying that out now, as you said, in sort of a scrimmage-like game. But it is definitely an interesting development.
And I believe Loyola has this game because they do not play Calvert Hall in a league game because of the Turkey Bowl on Thanksgiving morning. So they have this extra out-of-conference game where the rest of the MIAA conference will be playing an MIA opponent. Loyola playing Mount Zion Academy here, as it'll be Moore who will hand it off to McIntyre. He's going to run backwards, reversing field, and McIntyre makes not really something out of nothing, but I guess no gain or a gain of one out of what could have been a lot as he ran backwards as a flag is down on the field.
Yeah, there's a lot of chaos going on there whereas just to compare it to an earlier play, Jaden Moore, when he ran it backwards in reverse field, sort of ran laterally. Right there, you saw McIntyre sort of ran backwards and then outside. So there was a huge opportunity for the Dons to lock down a 15 to 20-yard loss. But like you said, I mean, good job by McIntyre getting back to the line of scrimmage and I guess making nothing out of nothing. So better than something worse.
We will have to see what this flag is here as the officials discuss.
Mount Zion seems to be walking it backwards.
And yeah, Loyola seems to be moving forward. Seems like a holding penalty that'll push the Warriors back. That is, looks like they're back even further than now it looks about like a holding penalty about 10 yards.
On those kind of chaotic plays where there's a lot of movement in the backfield, it's difficult to keep composure as an offensive lineman.
Pass goes out to the left on the screen, and it is complete, and getting forward for the gain is Bryce Gordon. That is of about 6 yards.
Yeah, that was a nice early pickup on what is going to be now second down for the Warriors. If they can get another kind of average amount of yards right there, it would be very beneficiary because that would put them into a third and long situation underneath 10 yards as opposed to what they are now, which would be an almost impossible third down.
And Mount Zion may want to slow this down here, not want to give Loyola too much time. If they can score here and not give Loyola too much time back, they will get the second half kickoff, and that'll put them in a much better position to regroup and move forward. But it is a third down and 14 here. It's going to be a run after Moore took it from the shotgun and bouncing off tackles, and now finally going down is McIntyre. He got 10, and it makes it fourth down and about medium. So we will see what they do. I believe they're going to keep the offense out there, and that's exactly what they're going to do. So a nice gain there to set up a better opportunity. And excuse me, that was second down. So now it's third down.
A lot of those McIntyre movements in the background and in the backfield that are really opening up the Loyola defense at this stage in the game. Guys are starting to get tired a little bit, even though, again, only halfway through the second quarter.
Moore with the pocket collapsing, and he's taken down. Tommy Tucker, the senior, getting in there and sacking Moore. And that makes it 4th down and long as Moore walks over to that sideline. I believe they're going to have to keep the offense out, though.
Yeah, I mean, down by this much in the second quarter, they have to get something going. Obviously, the field position is not necessarily that big of a concern. Normally with football teams, you'd see them valuing this special teams and field position battle a lot more. But right now with Mount Zion, they are willing to take risks that you would not normally see, like going for it on 4th down in only the second quarter. And while that has sometimes worked out for them, it's come to hurt them more often than not.
Yeah, with the special teams problems, it'll be Mount Zion going for it when we come back after this timeout. So it'll be 4th down and 12 for Mount Zion at their own 36-yard line. And down 21 here with 3:40 left in the second quarter, and the special teams problems, they are going to have to go for it. And trotting out onto the field is now Brian Resto, who started the game at quarterback, then got taken out, replaced by Moore, and now he's back on the field.
I would not be shocked. Oh, they are actually punting
now he's dropping back to punt. And no, now he's going to throw, and he does. And it is through the hands of the intended receiver. That was Brandon Diggs, the sophomore, and it is a turnover on downs.
Yeah, it really seems like Mount Zion is just trying to create as much confusion as possible and see if they can get this heavily disciplined Dons team to sort of slip up, but they haven't been able to really. Again, they trotted out a new quarterback, lined him up in the punt position, seemed like they were going to punt, and then threw it. So sort of a fever dream of a play right there.
And Brian Resto was standing there on the sideline and had to be told by his coach that, he was in the play. He didn't originally come out on the field with the rest of the team. Just some, miscommunication there, and it just wasn't all put together as Cisco's play action is going to throw it deep down the middle of the field, and it is incomplete. Looking for more. It was good coverage there the whole way, though, from Jaquise Graves.
Yeah, really good coverage there. I mean, we've seen Moore use some really great speed to get some separation. Graves not letting it up. And you like to see Cecil kind of allowing for some deeper balls. They can have some fun now that this game is kind of heavily in their control. Obviously, they don't want to do anything too foolish and allow for some Warriors touchdowns, but they're allowed to have some fun on offense.
Cease under center, gives it to Russell, and the tackle is made as getting in there was Peter Olawabi.
That's going to be a personal foul. You could see the Mount Zion Warrior kind of pushing Jaden Moore down after the play was well over.
So that'll give them a first down, and those are just the mistakes that you cannot have if you're Mount Zion.
I mean, it was noticeable enough where you could kind of see it from the booth. It was in the middle of the second level. It's one of those things where Mount Zion had just had a really great play. You don't want to see something like that, and you can tell from the body language he's about to get yelled at by his coach. But,
yeah, that was Graves getting the penalty there after he made had great coverage on Jaden Moore, in the previous play, but, makes a mistake there. And, Mount Zion is not outmatched athletically, but they just don't have as many players or as many, kickers and punters. And that's really the major difference in this game. And another penalty here on the Warriors, so that'll make it 1st down and 5 at the 16-yard line. So that's 20 yards, free 20 yards right there for Loyola.
And what had been a really clean game up to this point is slowly slipping away from the Warriors. You can tell that some of this frustration is starting to boil over.
Russell is the back, and he's going to get the carry up the middle, and Russell now wrapped up for not much on 1st down. Closing in on 3 minutes left in this second quarter as the Dons look to extend the big lead they have.
Russell's productive night is kind of slowly coming to a little bit of a stalemate and now in the second quarter. He was a huge contributor to this big lead, but it seems like the Warriors have sort of adjusted for having him run up the middle as well. But maybe once they bring Worthington back in for a sort of combo option, we'll see some of those bigger plays.
It's a play action. Cease rolling to his right, throwing, and it is complete and into the end zone for the touchdown is his brother Derek Cease.
That is a really fun play on senior night. They're tackling him in the end zone. Very fun to see. Kind of some brotherly love, huge connection there. And this senior night is going beautifully for the Dons, looking on pace to score 82 points. If they continue with this domination, this would be a very fun scoreline to call.
Yeah, and it's 18-81. The identical twins make it a 41-14 game as Sheeing is on for the extra point to make it a 28-point Dons lead. And the extra point is through. 2:26 left in the second quarter. 42-14, Loyola ahead.
Loyola's offensive line has been nothing short of fantastic this game. A lot of times the guys in the trenches don't get talked about nearly enough, but I just want to make a point with 42 points on the board. There's really no amount of thanks that you can give to your guys down there. They've been playing absolutely fantastic. The run game has been reliant on the holes opened up, and with plays like that, the play action that rely on there being some time in the backfield to let those things develop, I mean, it's so crucial to have a good offensive line. So really kudos to them. They've been playing fantastic, and yeah. Owen Shine as well has actually been booting a lot of these extra points really high over. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bring him out for a field goal if they ever need to, because he's been playing great as well.
So back to take the kickoff is Isaiah Perry. He's done a lot of that with the amount of kickoffs we have had so far in this game. As Perry races forward, gets a hole, and look out. Isaiah Perry with room, adjusting, and he just got tripped up by Ezra Carter. But still a good return from Isaiah Perry.
Ezra Carter was crucial to that play right there. I mean, you could tell he barely made the tackle, but he did a great job of running what was a sort of a contained defensive approach. He was, didn't even run all the way past the 50-yard line off that kickoff just in case Perry got by a lot of those guys with his speed. But Perry's been doing great throughout this game, both on offense and on kickoffs, but not enough to carry his team into the end zone more than twice.
So taking the field is the Warriors offense, and at quarterback is Blake Moore. The running back is McIntyre. Ball at the 48. Five-man rush coming. Moore in trouble, and he's going to go down for a short loss to make it second down.
Second sack of the night for this Dons defense. You can tell that the Warriors' offensive line is slowly starting to break down, and they've not really been winning this battle in the trenches. The Dons have started blitzing more like you had hoped earlier in the game, and it's definitely starting to pay dividends for them. It's continuing this overall domination. I mean, what would you say the Warriors need to do to just get something on the board here?
Well, I think with Moore at quarterback, they can rely on the pass, and with time running down now with 1:35 left in this second quarter, they're going to have to move quickly through the air as there's now 3 on the play clock, and Moore not getting the snap off, but no whistle was called as the play clock was at 0 and the pass goes left, and it's short as the pass was intended for Gordon. And that makes it third down and 11.
Again, those defensive edge rushers really closing around the side of the offensive line. There was definitely a holding on there, but, you know, got to let them play a little bit. And you could tell that the quarterback was just feeling a lot of pressure. That's the name of the game right now. There's been pressure from these Dons defenders in this later half of the second quarter, and I would not be surprised if we saw more of that coming into the second half.
1:19 remaining in the second quarter. Mount Zion does get the ball back at the half, so if they want to make some sort of comeback, points here is crucial as it's snapped just before the play clock expires, and Moore steps up and throws it downfield, incomplete, looking for Perry as G was coming over in coverage and Carter was behind him, and that brings up a fourth down.
I mean, again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but there was really not that much time for Moore to adjust. He had to step up into the pocket, and he made a good read as a quarterback in finding that open space in the pocket, but just not that much time for him. This offensive line is going to need a breather as you can see the fatigue sort of starting to wear down on the Warriors. That's what happens in these high-scoring games where field position is a real problem. You can see these increments in between the offensive and defense have not been that long, and with a team with a roster this small, it's critical for them to get some rest.
So the Warriors going for it. They snap it with 1 on the play clock, and Moore in trouble gets it away, and it is complete on the left side for a first down to Bryce Gordon, and the chains move with 1:05 remaining in this first half. Ball at the 40-yard line of the Dons. And they have to hurry here as the clock goes under a minute.
Good completion there for them. That's going to give them some life. And if they can get even just to 21 and cut this lead down to 50%, we'll see what happens.
It's going to go to a screen for Perry. He gets out to his right, and he's got room. A first down out of bounds at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was another huge play through Perry. A lot of these small, quicker guys on the Warriors' backfield are starting to become more and more crucial as this Loyola Blakefield defense is almost undoubtedly very tired.
And that was big for Perry to get out of bounds. And that stops the clock now here with 34 seconds remaining. Ball at the 25-yard line. And Mount Zion was having some trouble with, moving quickly as the quarterback had to go over to the coach to get the play. So that gives them some time to reset here, though. 5 on the play clock now.
I would not be surprised to see some deep balls starting to be chucked up. This team is not afraid of having fun.
It was a delay of game, and no whistle was blown, and now they finally do blow it. So that'll make it first down at 15.
That was definitely not what Zion was hoping for there, but not too big of a detriment to their offensive scheme here. As again, I would not be surprised if we started to see some shots for the end zone with this little amount of time and this big of a gap. They're just doing whatever they can to try and claw their way into it because, I mean, you hate to see a game that's almost over by the time that the second quarter comes to a close.
Snap taken by Moore, throwing left, and this is complete. And going down, did he get out of bounds is the question, and he did not, so they're going to have to hurry here with 20 seconds remaining. It is second down at the 20-yard line. They're going to have to spike it here, 14 seconds, and Moore gets in there and spikes it down with 10 seconds.
I mean, that is a critical play. Just the tackling there from the Dons was so important to this game. They needed to get out of bounds there almost.
Yeah, and it goes down to 7 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of runoff, almost 14 seconds of runoff, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and they did not really stop it right at 10 seconds. And the officials have been letting go some delay of games too. But we have about a 3rd and 6 here. And with 7 seconds, it's really got to be an incompletion or a pass to the end zone, as the clock cannot be stopped anymore. No timeouts left for Mount Zion. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. We haven't seen a lot of that so far. Back to throw Moore. He's got time. He throws it to the end zone, and it is caught. Bryce Gordon with the touchdown. And the Warriors get a score at the end of the half, and it's 42-20.
I mean, just a huge collapse there from the Loyola Blakefield secondary, but I mean, there's just not a lot of body language showing that they're that concerned. Again, their offense has been churning these points out so consistently that it's really difficult to be that upset with your secondary, who's been tackling and playing great all day long, especially for high school, to the point where, like, is it that big of a deal that they let up a touchdown at the end of the half there? Probably not.
Well, Mount Zion is going to use that momentum, hopefully, in the second half to try and get something going, as they are going for 2 like they have been.
I'm betting they're going to put Perry or McIntyre in motion.
3 on the play clock. Moore takes it, rolls right, about the same play they ran on the conversion that was successful, and they're unsuccessful this time. So it's a 22-point game with 4 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah, again, like you said, they tried to run that kind of same play where they had the tight end go in for a curl route and Perry go down for an easy check down for the score, but you can't run the same play twice on Coach Zayu. He's just simply too alert for that. He's going to readjust. He's going to tell his players to watch out for that. So, you know, you're going to need to get creative now, down 22 at the end of the second half, or at the end of the second quarter. I'd be interested to see if the Dons even try for a score here just to regain some momentum, or if they just allow this to run down to the end.
Well, I mean, there's only 4 seconds.
That's enough time. More than enough time.
Well, with the way the special teams has been going for Mount Zion, you never know what crazy thing could happen, as the quarterback is now on to kick it away. And the officials stopped play as Moore was about ready to go.
If I'm not wrong, they also have had 2 different kickers come on this game. Again, just one of the most interesting games I've seen all of probably my entire life with special teams. Seems like they're going to go for another onside kick.
I would believe they squib it or something. No, they're going to go onside. You're right, up into the air and out of bounds. So the ball will be at the spot where that one was kicked out.
Again, this lack of special teams is killing them. Like you said, there's only 4 seconds. They're probably going to knee it out, but had this been a closer game, that gives that kind of onside kick that doesn't run any kind of clock off is going to give the Dons an opportunity to, if they wanted to, take a shot at the end zone, see what happens.
Yeah, some sort of Hail Mary going with 4 seconds.
But, yeah, I mean, this special teams, it's going to be a crucial point after the game that everyone's going to be focusing on. I mean, without this kind of odd special teams play and these weird field position losses that they're getting, this would be a very competitive game. A lot of Loyola's points have come off of block punts or onside kicks or just great field positioning. There's only been one turnover by the offense.
So that flag moves them up 5. So they'll have a chance with one final play, barring a penalty. Cease dropping back, 4-man rush, and he's going to go across the middle to Moore, who throws it backwards as a flag comes out. Not even sure if Moore had a catch before that one went to the ground, and whatever it is, it's the end of the first half. So we will go to halftime with Loyola ahead 42-20 on the Loyola Sports Network.
Is it recording?
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, I'm Jaden Moore.
Action and Moore up the middle. He has room. And there goes Jaden Moore. Jaden Moore, 2010. And there he goes.
Senior wide receiver for Loyola Blakefield.
In the Wildcat formation, Jaden Moore takes the snap. Jaden Moore is going to take it himself. And that's a Don's touchdown. Jaden Moore.
See the red light?
Yeah, I see the red light.
All right.
All right. Hi, I'm Christian Ronaldo, senior receiver, number 13.
So big third down coming here. Across the middle it goes, and it is complete for the first down to Christian Ronaldo.
Throughout my football career, I've definitely grown as a person in leadership. Coming in freshman year, I didn't really know where my place was or where I would fit on the team. But then as I got older and grew into my talents, I realized that I had a knack for leadership and knack for helping guys get to where they're going and know what they're doing.
I think football has taught me that hard work and dedication get you what you want, and that if you have a goal and you work towards it, you're gonna achieve it. Just from weightlifting and stuff like that, and putting the work in the off season, and when the season comes around, you can really see the difference. And I think that helped me realize that. I would say for me, it's probably this year against MSJ when we played them at home. It's the first time I caught the ball in game, in a real game.
Pass goes right, and good catch made. And out of bounds goes Ronaldo.
And yeah, that just meant a lot to me.
The most memorable game that I've been a part of is probably the Turkey Bowl sophomore year.
This is Thanksgiving in Baltimore, Calvert Hall, Loyola, Thanksgiving morning.
It's more than a football game. This is what they call a reunion
Here we
game.
go.
This is what you play for. And there's a streak of Loyola in 2000 and then a streak of Calvert Hall the last couple of years.
We hadn't beat Calvert Hall in maybe 8 years.
And Turkey Bowl 101 is underway. Well, they couldn't have asked for a better start. The Loyola Dons on top 13-0. Jamie Costello, we got a classic today, 101.
Look at the score, 35-35.
Not sure on the timeout situation here, but we do have 15 seconds left in the game. We know that. Hines throwing in the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Noah Bull. 9 seconds left. Loyola has taken the lead. And the far side of this stadium is going crazy. 15 yards on the touchdown. Marcus Hines to Noah Bull.
So just to be a part of that group and help the seniors out to get their win on their way out is really impactful for me, especially playing with my cousin Noah Bull. That was really fun, and I was crying the whole time. My personal goals for this year is to go to the playoffs. Loyola hasn't been into the playoffs in a while, especially not in the A Conference, and then win an A Conference championship. I can't remember the last time we won an A Conference championship, maybe 2008, so that's definitely a goal for this year.
Got to score a touchdown this year. That's been the goal since day one. At first it was to catch a pass and start, and now it's to catch a touchdown, and then after that it'll be make the playoffs, and then win a championship, and then win the Turkey Bowl. So, I wouldn't say I have one goal. I would say I have multiple, but always aiming for the one and then leveling up to the next.
My future plans is to go to Duke University to play football. I'll be joining my brother and sister there. My brother plays football right now, Jordan Moore.
Riley Leonard up in the pocket, going to take a deep shot, and it is caught behind the traffic. A great grab by Jordan Moore.
And I'll be graduating early, so I'll be finishing up high school in December and starting at Duke University in January.
I think one hobby specifically after football season and even after high school that I want to pursue really is photography. I think it's pretty cool. I'm not really looking too much into football, but it's always there too, always floating around. It'd be kind of cool to play college football, but photography I would say is what really is at the top for me.
Sue!
So we are back here for the second half of action. The Dons ahead by 22, 42-20 after an eventful first half, but Mount Zion hanging around, and they get the ball to start the second half as it's Perry taking the kick. He's got room. Flag does come in as Isaiah Perry bursts his way forward to the 43-yard line, but we're going to have to check the flag, and I assume it's going to be on Mount Zion.
Yeah, agreed. It seemed like it was a holding or something. Again, just, oh, God, a really disappointing thing to see there for Mount Zion because their special teams has not been holding it down. We were talking about it at half. The big point here for Mount Zion is absolutely going to be improving special teams. I mean, it's been really their kryptonite this entire game, and the only bright spot is going to be Isaiah Perry on the kickoff. But I mean, even when Perry brings in a good kickoff, a flag has been holding them back every once in a while.
Yeah, there's definitely just been those little mistakes throughout the game that have really cost these Warriors. That good return from Perry, great athlete, is negated with the penalty, and they will start at their own 10-yard line.
And you can see that. I mean, we were discussing it at half again, that there was 41 points scored in the second quarter alone with these two teams combined. So, I mean, you can tell these guys are giving the ball up in such terrible field positioning for the Warriors that the Dons have had no problem getting quick scores in and making this. I mean, this game's almost over at halftime. But I would suggest sticking around because it's been a really interesting watch.
So 1st and 10 at their own 10 as the snap is taken and throw goes left to Perry. And Perry, he makes a great cut, and Perry's got room up the sideline. Isaiah Perry making moves and moving the change as Brian Resto, the junior quarterback, threw the pass as he was replaced in the middle of that first quarter by Blake Moore, and then came on for some sort of fake kind of punt pass, whatever they were doing there. Then it was Moore the rest of the way, but now throws the pass there, and Perry makes something out of it, and now staying on the field here with nobody in the backfield and two receivers to his left and right. To throw again, or no, it's going to be a designed run. It seems like, as you have said, he's got more agility and speed than Moore does, and he can run with it, as you saw the designed run there, and he gets 2.
Yeah, like you said, there's just not been a designed quarterback run like that since we saw the quarterback switch to Moore. So now that he's back out there, you can really tell that. You can tell that they're using that agility, like you said, and they're going to rely on their speed players here. They seem to be finding a better rhythm here and not allowing these games to slip away from them.
2nd down and 8. Resto throws it on the slant, and it is brought in by Gordon for a couple, and that makes it 2nd down and 4.
That play seemed like it was supposed to be an almost instantaneous pass, but there's definitely, I couldn't tell if it was a miscommunication or just he had to go down to his second read, but they did not get the ball off as quickly as they needed to get past this stifling defensive back core that we have here at Loyola Blakefield.
Really tight window that Resto fitted in there, but a good gain to make it 3rd and medium instead of 3rd and long, as Resto is back to throw again and can't get it to his intended receiver, which was Graves, but a flag does come in.
I was actually just about to comment on the discipline that was shown by number 24 of Loyola Blakefield, Luke Rush, in not grabbing down the arms. So I'm a little surprised, but we do have an injury right now.
Yeah, it's good to see Luke Rush, the senior, get into the game, but unfortunately is going to get penalized there, and we'll take a break for the injury timeout. So back after the injury timeout, as that was Luke Randazzo on the ground, who is now up on his feet and walking off. That is the junior defensive lineman. And it'll with the penalty, the ball is at the 48 of Loyola for Mount Zion, who started the drive at their own 10-yard line, but are looking to put something together here as Resto remains at quarterback.
Yeah, good to see Randazzo getting up and back at him, but yeah, back to the play.
Graves in motion. The pass is going to go to him, and it is incomplete.
It seems like Mount Zion is going back to their bread and butter that they were showing us at the beginning of the game and just trying to get the ball out quick and down low to some of their faster guys. But, I mean, not to comment right now, but that strategy has not really been working. I know that they have 20 points, but a lot of those points have come from those deeper balls and some of those more daring shots. And, yes, it did come and shoot themselves in the foot when they had an interception from Ezra Carter, but they kind of have to try and take those risks down big. The third quarter is already three-fourths of the way, or a fourth of the way over, moving much faster than the second quarter. So you got to wonder, when is this team expecting to kick it into a higher gear and start to really take risks?
So ball still at the 48-yard line after the incompletion. Still the quarterback is Resto in the shotgun. McIntyre, his back pressure coming. He gets one away left side and incomplete, looking for Perry, as that was Cole Mosier coming down hard at Resto.
Again, that Don's front seven has been doing really great with adjusting to having to, blitz a little bit more and put the pressure on the Mount Zion Warriors quarterback here, whichever one it may be at the time. But both have been really feeling the pressure and not being able to be comfortable in the pocket, which is resulting in those deep balls, although they have men open, are just slightly out of the reach of whether normally Perry.
So 3rd and 10 after the 2 incompletions. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 5-man rush coming from Loyola. Resto left side, incomplete as he was looking for Gordon. And now it'll be a decision here coming up. Down 22 from the Warriors. Special team woes. We'll have to see the decision made, and it seems like they're going to go for it with Resto conversating with his coach over there. That's Tyree Spinner, the head coach for the Warriors.
And that's a good decision here. I mean, this field position is about what they would have given up on a normal special teams play. That's just the facts. I mean, we've seen it all day. Midfield is about where the Dons have been starting at, so there's no reason to not go for it here and try and get something started. You can't play conservatively.
And there's been some way worse field position. There's been some. The Dons have started, inside the 10-yard line, inside the 20, after, block punts or botched punts. And we're going to get a timeout here from Mount Zion, so we'll take a break on the Loyola Sports Network. So out of the timeout, 4th down and 10 upcoming for the Warriors. Trying to make a big play to keep this drive going with the disadvantage they have and stay in this ball game.
Really important play here to see if they can stay in this game.
Resto, the quarterback, motions a man. Pressure coming, throws it left side, looking for Perry. It is caught! Isaiah Perry! Touchdown, Warriors!
Another huge deep bomb coming in, and this is going to make this game a lot more interesting. Obviously, they're going to go for 2, and that'll determine whether or not they're within a 2-score game. But, again, the Dons had such a huge lead, and that is going to be a flag in the end zone. But
what a big conversion, though, and not just the conversion, but to go the whole way into the end zone. Isaiah Perry, a huge part to this offense, and he's had a great game, but this flag in the end zone, I believe, for unsportsmanlike conduct, and that's exactly what it is. And it is on the Warriors, which will hurt their odds for a 2-point conversion. And no chance of an extra point.
Yeah, that actually, whereas normally a penalty after a touchdown would mean that you do take the extra point, for them it just means that there is less of a chance of taking the extra point. It's been a really interesting game for extra points. But you have to comment on that play. The throw was almost perfect. It was between 2 defenders right there. Loyola had made the adjustments for the deep ball, but sometimes Isaiah Perry right now just speed kills. He's been very difficult to guard on the outside, running downfield, and the throw was perfectly placed. He didn't even have to slow down. And interestingly enough, for a smaller frame, Isaiah Perry has broken a significant amount of tackles, especially in the open field.
So it doesn't look like this penalty is affecting the point after attempt. Ball still on the 2-yard line here for Resto to try and make it a 14-point game. Throws it right and through the hands of the running back, McIntyre. So it is going to be a 16-point game, 42-26.
Yeah, 26. Again, it's interesting. I mean, they're not necessarily out of this game at all. It has gotten to the point where, it's a 2-score game. Obviously, they would need to make both of the 2-pointers, but within 16 now, Mount Zion has fought themselves back, and you have to give them props. They've not given up. They've not rolled over. At the end of the second half, it really almost felt like the game was close to over, but they are not letting themselves get out of this game against a really strong, disciplined, and powerful Loyola offense and defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely physicality and athleticism from the Mount Zion side, and this is their second year with a football program. And, you can kind of tell with some of the dysfunction that has happened, but boy, do they have some athletes that can make plays and really are still hanging around trying to stay in this game, although they got to stop the Loyola offense as they have their kickoff moved back 15 yards, which is really crucial with the special teams as we have continued to push as a problem for the Warriors, as it's the quarterback who has gotten some minutes more in the game to kick it away.
Let's see if it's probably going to be another onside. Never mind.
Well, it's a little pooch kick, and a fair catch is called and taken by Rush as a flag comes in.
Looks like it might be another unsportsmanlike. I couldn't really tell what it was there.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
There was arms being thrown up, and there was really no need for any
Yeah,
extra
I
contact.
did not see anything really happen after the play.
Yeah, it might have been something on the field level because there was no opportunity even for a holding call or unnecessary roughness. So I would expect this to be a personal foul. But those onside kicks are really very interesting because they are remaining consistent with almost refusing to kick the ball downfield, which makes sense. Their first 2 kick attempts weren't very far and didn't do much for field position, so you might as well.
Well, it wasn't really an onside kick, as more of just it was a weird kind of situation as the officials converse over this penalty or what's happening here.
And Mr. Zayu is out there arguing. It seems like there's just a miscommunication in terms of what that penalty is. So we'll see.
Yeah, Coach Zayu for the Dons seems very upset with something.
He's a very strong presence, Coach Zayu is. He's definitely a great leader and definitely very, very liked by the players. So he's willing to take a stand and show that he's not going to let his players get pushed around.
So it seemed like a holding call, maybe, or that seemed like what the signal was. But, I mean, there was barely any contact on that kick. Or no, a personal foul is what the PA announcer said. So good field position still for the Dons, but not as good as it was as it goes a pitch outside and a big hit placed down by Abdul Mapa. I can't even say his last name.
No, give it a shot. No.
I mean, it's hard to say. But with the carry was Andreas Diokno. And it's funny, I looked up how to say his last name before the game, and Google didn't even, it said, wrong search, it wasn't even registered. But we're going to call him Abdul, and he makes a good tackle there. It'll be second down and 13. Moore takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff and run it up the middle, and Moore thrown down after a gain of 10 to make it 3rd and 3.
There's a lot of physicality going on right now. You can tell that by the end of the second half or second quarter, you could almost see the Warriors kind of slumped, felt defeated. Whatever happened at the second half the halftime readjustments have been so crucial for this team. They're back in it. They seem to be re-energized. They're physical, and they're really meeting the Dons where they need to.
Worthington gets the carry, fakes the handoff, and gets the first down for Loyola into Mount Zion territory.
Worthington is absolutely built like a football player. I mean, you can just see he's ready to step up. He's not afraid to make a man miss, but he's also definitely not shying away from contact. And having that ball directly snapped to him and letting him get some momentum in the backfield is really working out well for Loyola.
So 7:40 left in this third quarter. Ball at the 41 of the Warriors. 1st and 10 as Moore is back to take the snap for the Dons. The low snap as he runs with it. Gets upfield. Jaden Moore is still on his feet and has a first down again for the Dons.
What Jaden Moore has expressed on the football field is really great. I mean, as a coach, I'm sure Mr. Zay is absolutely elated to see that Jaden refuses to give up on a play. He very much is willing to make a man miss, and even when he can see people closing in on him, he's not going to give up. He's not going to just run out of bounds or hit the dirt. He is absolutely ready to keep the play going, something you really like to see out of a leader like Jaden Moore.
Under center is Cease. Hands it off to Worthington, and Worthington a big hit taken and stays on his feet, and now finally corralled down as meeting him was Kayvon Waters, and it makes it second down.
Ouch. That looked really like a hard hit, but like I was saying before, Kendrick Worthington not shying away, and you can see Coach Zayu really just going for that run-it-down approach. The clock is running down as well, and with this big of a lead and with how successful this multifaceted running attack has been, there's no reason to switch it up, I say, as they get in passing formation.
We'll see what they do here on second down, and they are going to throw it, and incomplete, looking for Ronaldo, and that's unfortunate because he had room up the middle of the field if the ball could have been placed in his hands.
Yeah, it's just a little bit too far. Like you said, on that slant route down the middle, there was a lot of room for Ronaldo to work in his senior day game. So you kind of wish that ball was just a little bit better placed, but you don't hate to see the attempt to throw here. I think it's going to really pay dividends if they open up the field with some passing plays, and I assume they're going to go for it again.
So 3rd down and 10. Blitz coming from Mount Zion. Pressure getting in there. Cease avoiding it and running and not getting much as a flag is down on that far sideline.
This could be a really important flag. Good job by Cease just getting out of there and understanding that the pass was just simply not going to work with that collapsing pocket. The Dons' offensive line has been playing great all day. That was really their first opportunity, letting some of the Warriors get in the backfield quick. So we'll see what this penalty is.
Well, he just signaled for it, but I could not see.
It's on the Warriors, but it's difficult to see what he's actually signaling.
I believe it was an offside. So it was an offside on that blitz, and that gives 5 yards for Loyola and replays the down, so it's going to be 3rd and 5.
That is critical. I mean, they had a free play the entire time without knowing it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why Cease just tucked it in.
Just a killer penalty. And, we got movement now on the right side of the line from the Dons. That was Sam Navarre. And one of their linebackers was inching up, and Navarre moved too quickly. And so it was 4th and 10, but the penalty made it 3rd and 5, and now we go back to 3rd and 10.
And Owen Shine has got a really big leg, so I would not be surprised if they go for just to try and pick up some short yards and see if they can negate some of those 2-point opportunities that Mount Zion's been putting up. But important to note, the clock is still running.
Cease drops back to throw, and the pass is intercepted. Intercepted by the Warriors, and that is Jaquise Graves as a flag comes in on his return. But that will have the Mount Zion Warriors take over, even though the penalty came in. It was on that return. It's a holding on the Warriors. But they will have possession down 16, which is technically 2 scores if they can get 2 two-point conversions. And a crucial turnover there from the Dons in the territory of the Warriors.
Cease has been playing really well all game, but that was definitely not an ideal pass. You could see even up here from the booth, he locked onto a target as soon as his receiver cut down to the middle. I mean, the defensive back was reading it all the way and just broke in. He had a much better angle than the receiver. And, those are the kinds of throws you have to take sometimes and just try and predict where your receiver's going to go. But, he was a little bit too locked on there, so the Warriors' defensive back was really able to take advantage of that. And that play just never really developed. There wasn't a whole lot of people open. Possibly would have been better to just tuck in and run. But, again, you have to try for those a lot, especially on 3rd and long, with the game slowly becoming closer.
So 1st and 10 after the turnover. Ball at the 23-yard line. Resto motions a man. That is Perry. Resto now throws it up in the air for Perry, and over there to intercept it was Ezra Carter if he's inbounds.
He's in.
And he is. And
Ezra
the turnover for Loyola is quickly responded to with a turnover from Mount Zion and a toe tap catch by Ezra Carter on the sideline. And the Dons get the ball back within a play.
I mean, right there, you got to wonder what the decision-making process was there. I know that I've been one of the bigger, proponents of the passing game, especially deep downfield for the Warriors. But in a situation where you get the ball back midway through 3rd quarter, down by 2 scores, with momentum in your favor after an interception, you cannot throw a ball like that. That is critical to your team. And that turnover is going to give some new life to the Dons. Ezra Carter in his second.
Don still throwing deep down the middle of the field. It's Moore, and Moore has got it to the 2-yard line.
What a ball by Brad Cease. You love to see that. Sometimes coaches, they become a little bit too conservative after you have an interception. You want to let your guy kind of settle back in. Not Coach Zayu is allowing Brad Cease to take a huge bomb. Another big risk right after getting the ball back.
Yeah.
And you just have to respect it. They're playing aggressive. They're allowing for Jaden Moore to run underneath that ball. And the placement was fantastic. The offensive line was blocking great. Nothing to complain about on that.
Yeah, everyone in here was expecting a run after the turnover, and I think it got Mount Zion as well. And now inside the 5, the Dons have it. It's Worthington trying to get his 4th touchdown, and he cannot. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do get the 4th touchdown, though, because Worthington is simply too fast, too big, and frankly, too built to be stopped this close to the goal line, especially by a defensive line that's been allowing a lot of yards up the middle. So we'll see. I wouldn't be surprised by a quarterback sneak either.
So Cease under center. And that's exactly what they're going to do. The quarterback sneak from the big quarterback, and he's in for the touchdown.
I am good at my job. But really, that was a fantastic play call. Kendrick Worthington just getting him right on the doorstep. And Brad Cease, who, as you said, has a very, very built for a quarterback and able to just punch it in. Really just, I loved everything about that drive. They didn't allow the previous drive sort of failure at the end there to dissuade them from taking risks and just pounding the rock.
So Owen Shine to kick the extra point, his 7th one, and he is 7 for 7 tonight. And it is a 49-26 Loyola lead with 3:34 left in this 3rd quarter.
And obviously the scoring has slowed down a little bit for Loyola here, but that is not a negative. The time management here is going to be so much more important than putting points on the board, especially up 3 with only a quarter and a half of football to be played, not even. So that was a very, very, very successful set of drives right there. Obviously, the interception for Loyola was not what they were looking for, but Ezra Carter picking off his 2nd ball of the day is, that's going to be one of the plays that's going to be talked about after this game in terms of just being such a crucial point. Mount Zion trying to crawl back in this game. We'll see if they can before the 3rd quarter ends.
So with the 7th touchdown of the game, we've had 3 from Kendrick Worthington, or the 7th touchdown from Loyola, 3 from Kendrick Worthington, 1 from each Cease twin, and Jaden Moore and Maurice G, the other 2. And that's 49 points for the Loyola Dons. And Mount Zion, a lot of scoring as well. That was Colin Richardson getting 1. Their running back, Jashawn McIntyre, Bryce Gordon, and then Perry with the long reception. And they have 4 touchdowns themselves as the kick is taken and getting through with a hole, and a big hit placed down up to the 44-yard line, though, as that was Jaron Evans.
Mason Russell with an absolutely huge hit at the end of that play. Critical tackle right there, really. You could see the kick returner was finding open space. There was going to be some room for him to maneuver and maybe make a man miss. I think it was just him versus Sheen. So important for Mason Russell to kind of use that speed, use that frame to take him down before he can make anything out of that.
Right, and that's what happens is he sort of made a cut, reverse field a little bit, and, the defenders from behind are still chasing after you and kind of got blindsided on that hit. But he hung on to the ball, and now good starting field position for the Warriors. They had a 90-yard drive last time, or 2 times ago, to cash in through an interception on 1 play in their last drive, and now looking to make something happen here, and it's Resto running, and he's got the first down with good blocking ahead from Bryce Gordon, and into territory of the Dons, the Mount Zion Warriors move.
I think that's a really smart decision right there from Russell. He just had to he had a man deep, but there was too many defenders in the area for him to make a reliable throw, especially considering that the Dons' pressure, as it has been all night, was getting to him. And his decision to press up was apparently a good one, as he saw Ezra Carter seemed to kind of lose track of the play at the end there. Luckily, he recovered and was able to make the tackle.
1st and 10, it's a run. McIntyre getting the carry and trying to make moves. Doesn't get much. Gain of about 3. 3 or 4 there. Second down.
Solid gain right there. We actually haven't seen a whole lot of that running up the middle mentality. Now that I think about it, I think that's only their 3rd or 4th time that the Warriors have
There
tried
was
that.
more in the beginning of the game, but they've sort of abandoned it, which I think is a good decision because, you know, while it hasn't really controlled the clock too well and it has led to this high-scoring game, it has added some high-octane offense, and the run game really wasn't working for Mount Zion.
Yeah, Mount Zion's defense is simply not going to be able to keep up with this Loyola offense considering the field position, so they have to avoid that running up the middle mentality because this has to be an offensive shootout, as we said.
Right, and we have a player down on the field just in front of that Mount Zion sideline on the near side as the trainers come over. So with that, we are going to take a break as the Warriors player stays down. So we are now back here for 2nd down and 10. Resto takes the snap, moves to his left off the snap, and is run out of bounds as that was Giannis Kligas getting in there.
Yeah, Giannis Kligas, in my opinion, is one of the leaders of this defense in terms of the way he plays. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room. I don't know whether or not he's bringing that, that juice at the beginning of each game, but I know for a fact that he is one of the first guys to the ball game in, game out. It's really impressive to see him play, especially all these years since sophomore, ever since I started commentating. Yeah, very important to note that, he's just one of those guys on defense that you see as a staple. But, first to Risto there. Risto definitely adds an element of unease to the defensive side when he's holding the ball because he could tuck it and run and pick up a sizable, 7 or 8 yard gain. But he has shown that he has the arm. He's not afraid to try and put it in there. Obviously, he doesn't have that deep ball kind of X factor that Moore has. But we'll see. We'll see how this game pans out with him at quarterback.
So the officials don't have play moving right now with something going on the field.
It seems like number 55, Richard Mulhern, is coming back in. He was injured originally. It seems like that seems to be the delay, some miscommunication.
Play clock running down here is nothing really going on. And now the official finally blows the whistle and play resumes. So it's 3rd down and 3 after the Resto run. Motions a man, that's Perry. He's back to throw, has time. Out to his right, rolling, and he's going to run, and he's going to have the 1st down, bouncing off a tackle, still moving forward. And Resto down at the 25-yard line, and the chains move for the Warriors.
Again, Risto brings that sort of energy to the backfield that they need right now. They need someone who can make something out of nothing because as of right now, their offense has had a couple of miscues that have been drive enders. And, it's just so crucial for them to have a dynamic playmaker in the back.
Yeah, definitely has kind of thrown the Dons off guard here as they went to Blake Moore for the majority of that first half after taking out Resto, but now switching back to Resto and using him in the run game has definitely kept the Dons on their toes, as Resto's going to throw it now, and it's incomplete as he was looking for Jashawn McIntyre.
And they're trying one of those quick check down balls that they've been doing so well throughout the game, but he just didn't turn around for it. There was the ball was just mistimed, a little bit misplaced. It just wasn't the ideal start. There was really nothing going for him there.
Yeah, McIntyre, I don't think had his back turned either. 1:41 left in this third quarter. 49-26, the lead for Loyola as the huddle breaks.
Interested to see if they're going to go for something deep here. On Ben, they do. Empty backfield.
Resto back to throw, gets it out quickly, and it's knocked down as that was Sam Navarre getting his hand in there, and it makes it 3rd down and 10.
Resto taking a hard hit there. I mean, you like to see that sort of willingness to, stand against adversity there as he gets right back up from that hard hit. Obviously, the ball got knocked down, and he was looking left. Seemed to be not necessarily deep, but sort of a medium yard gain. But, it's very impressive for him to get back up right after that because that was a hard hit to take as a quarterback.
Yeah, Navarre also a member of the varsity basketball team, and his height helped him out there to knock it down. In the backfield is Brandon Diggs as Resto drops back to throw. He's looking deep, throwing left to the end zone, and there's a man open, and it is caught for the touchdown.
You have to wonder, where was the coverage there? It's been so critical in that left side for Loyola. I mean, obviously the defensive backs have been playing very well down low and in the medium part of the field, but they've kind of fallen apart once the Mount Zion Warriors wide receivers have gotten a little bit of momentum, especially on the left side. Important to note that that's where most of the deep bombs have come from. And right there, I mean, there has to be some sort of miscommunication between the cornerbacks and safeties, because that has been really their Achilles heel all game. And it's allowed Mount Zion to stay in it because they can just take those Madden-like deep throws and take advantage.
It was Jaquise Graves with the reception in the corner of the end zone. And now, obviously, Mount Zion going for 2 like they have been so far, trying to make it a 15-point game as it's snapped over the head of Resto, trying to make a play out of it, rolling out to his left, throws to the end zone, and it is incomplete. So it's 49-32 here with 1:17 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, nice job by Resto bringing in that ball.
Yeah, made something out of it, but just couldn't quite do enough, as we do have a flag down on the far side.
Yeah.
So the offense is staying out there.
Well, good job by Resto keeping that ball alive, because if it is a hold, it means that his efforts will have allowed for them to go for 2 again and possibly make this, oh, God, I have to do math. 15-point game.
15, there you go.
Yes. Student section really getting into it and just letting them know.
So the penalty is, I'm not sure on who.
A lot of miscommunications.
So I think the penalty was on Mount Zion. The official makes the signal to the far side where only the Loyola players are, but none of the crowd or anyone else is. So it's a little harder to tell. But the conversion is no good, and the score is what it is.
17-point game. And I'd be interested to see. I mean, crazy prediction here, but I'm gonna bet that they do a onside kick or some sort of pooch kick of some kind.
From what we have seen, that has been the mojo of the special teams, or the practices of it.
Yeah, I mean, And again, I've already said it, but that is really the only strategy that you can really utilize with a special teams unit that's going to be struggling as it has been. And if they are able to recover an onside kick, that could be game-changing, especially only 2 or 3 scores down. It is 3, I believe, from this Loyola sideline. But what's interesting about a 17-point game that for most teams would be 2 touchdowns and a field goal is that Mount Zion's going to almost have to approach it as a 3-touchdown game. It's practically the same as a 21
it does make
deficit.
it a lot harder.
Yeah, because, if they
and with the 2-point conversions, they're going to have to get 2. I mean,
yeah, you're right.
It just really does complicate things. So maybe that penalty is enforced on the kickoff, which there was a penalty on a older or a point after that happened earlier in the game that was enforced on the kickoff. So the kickoff at the 50-yard line, and it's an onside kick for Moore that hops in the air and is taken in by Legree, who took a big hit but held onto the ball. And that is where Loyola will start their offense with a 49-32 lead. Not even done the third quarter.
I mean, what is this game? It's been nothing but entertaining. I will give it that. And the fact that Mount Zion is still in this is just a testament to how much they have fought through adversity here and really stayed in this game. But the Dons have really not let up. They've not allowed for momentum to get out of their control. And it's been an impressive showing for both teams, really, except for maybe Mount Zion's special teams unit. But that's a whole other thing.
And the fact that Mount Zion is within this score after the opportunities and advantages they've given Loyola with the mistakes is really impressive as Worthington finds a hole, breaks a tackle, and look out, Worthington in open field.
Goodbye.
Down the right side, and he's in. His 4th touchdown of the game, and the Dons lead 55-32 with a minute left in the third quarter.
The Dons just got rolling. That was a huge play from Kendrick Worthington, making sure that the Mount Zion Warriors are not going to get the momentum back. That was absolutely crushing. I mean, and you got to give it up. Obviously, the blocking was fantastic on that play, but props to Kendrick Worthington for probably one of the most powerful runs of the season. Straight down the middle, not allowing himself to get brought down by multiple defenders, and punching it in for a huge score.
And he adds to his huge game with a 62-yard touchdown, and it is 55-32, the 8th extra point, and Shying is 8 for 8, and it is 56-32, and a 24-point Loyola lead.
Yeah, I mean, just such a crucial game. You have to point out the fact that some of the highlights have been centered directly around Kendrick Worthington. He's been by far the bell cow running back tonight. Obviously, he's been complimented greatly by his counterpart in the backfield.
Mason Russell.
Thank you. I was losing the name. But both of those players have just been so crucial to the run game and making sure that this clock is ticking down. I'd be interested to see the stat line of Kendrick Worthington tonight because he has been playing fantastic and he's had a lot of really big gains.
So now a new kicker into the game. That is Kai Takasaki, who is going to try off a kickoff with the advantage that the Dons have. And it's a little onside squib kick, whatever that one was, and it's recovered by Brandon Diggs, the sophomore. So the Warriors will start at their own 49-yard line.
It seems like Loyola right there was saying, okay, well, we can do it too. And, really just trying to see if maybe they get the ball back because Mount Zion has really been only running onside kicks since maybe the first 2 scores, and that is saying something considering there's been, almost I don't even know how many scores. I've lost track. But,
it's 8 and 7, so it's about 15.
Wow.
No, not 7, 6. No, 5. So, yeah, it's 13 touchdowns. No field goals.
We're probably not going to see a field goal from the Mount Zion Warriors tonight, but maybe they'll give somebody a shot.
Retso takes a snap as the pressure comes, and he completes it right side, breaking the tackle, making moves, and getting up for a first down and more is Graves, who is out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
And that was a huge play because the thing about that the defensive backs of Loyola have been succeeding at so well all night has been the really just impressive tackling and aggressiveness to get to the ball. But yeah, that play right there was definitely an outlier.
So Retso in the shotgun as Diggs is his back. Man motioning, it's a little flip to him. That's McIntyre using his speed to get out of bounds for a gain of about 6.
Yeah, that was another really speedy play. Just going, straight through, using the speedy, shorter guys. And, the motion was just really impressive there.
So 2nd and 4, 19 seconds left in the third quarter.
I would not be surprised, again, if we see a deep ball.
McIntyre motion, but he didn't get it this time as the pass goes right. It's complete. Out of bounds is Gordon, and it's a first down for Mount Zion.
Ball was a little bit behind him there, but nothing too egregious, and, got it right out. Definitely was looking downfield, but didn't get anything. Good job by the Loyola defensive backs to keep that locked down. As we head towards the third quarter, what do you think Mount Zion's going to need to do to keep themselves in this game?
Well, I mean, it's got to start with playing defense because they cannot win this game if they can't stop Loyola. And, going back to the beginning of the game, those Loyola stops at the beginning were really crucial because, after it was 14-0 Loyola, it's just really been a back-and-forth shootout that we've seen. And, again, Mount Zion on the doorstep now with Retso back to throw, and the pass tipped, intended for McIntyre, which will make it 2nd down with 8 seconds left in the third.
The Loyola defensive line, you cannot praise them enough. They have been playing great all game. There have been a lot of knockdowns. There's been so many quarterback pressures, 2 sacks, one by Tommy Tucker, and I believe Giannis Klee has had. But yeah, probably going to take a shot at the end zone to close out this third quarter. Definitely nothing too risky, but I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go into the break with a little bit of momentum.
Again, McIntyre motioning as Retso's back to throw, and he completes a pass to his running back there with him. That was Diggs, and that is the end of the fourth quarter, and
Third quarter.
Yeah, that's the end of the third quarter, and we will be back with you for the fourth. So it is 3rd down and 10 here with 3 receivers to the right, and Mount Zion looking to keep their offense hot. In trouble, and down goes Blake Moore, who steps in for Retzo at quarterback to start this 4th quarter, and that makes it 4th and long, and with really no kicking ability, I believe we're going to see them go for it here.
I'd bet my life savings
yeah,
on it.
I don't. It would not. It's not much of a guess.
But yeah, what seemed to happen there is that they went for another kind of check down. They put, I believe it was Perry, in motion, and it just didn't pay off for him. You could tell that Moore was just looking for that read, staring him down, and just did not see that Loyola pressure. Again, the 3rd sack of the night, so impressive for him. You just have to give props to that front 7. There's been nothing but pressure and sacks all night, a couple of knockdowns.
So,
Play clock.
Play clock at 0, and
You
a
have
flag
to call
does
it.
come out, and
Yeah.
you know that's the Mount Zion has really struggled with that throughout the game, and there's have been times where it's been at 0 and the officials have not called it, and it's it's hard. The quarterback comes over to the head coach every time, and they're slow. There's been some weird situations
There's
with
been
the clock,
some,
but it
yeah.
makes it 4th and 24.
I don't exactly know what's going on, but it seems like there's just a lot of exceedingly long breaks between snaps. And for a team that is down by 3 scores, they need to learn how to get the ball out quicker. Obviously, it's a newer football team, but you gotta work on that.
So 4th down. They had a conversion on 4th and 10. Let's see what they can do here. Rolling, Moore, throwing, and incomplete as he was looking for Gordon, and it wouldn't have been a 1st down anyway, and it's a turnover on downs.
Some good pressure there. Obviously, number 43 for Loyola, Cole Mosier, is going to take a big hit there trying to get to the quarterback. But just an interesting play there on 4th down. They aren't going for the end zone. They went for more of a curl route on the outside that didn't really have a lot of opportunity, never mind the drop. And, I mean, I'm guessing that they're just going to try and do whatever they can to stay in this game. But after that, that was a very crucial drive right there to see if they were going to stay in it. And as of right now, it's looking like they are not going to be able to.
So 10 minutes and 39 seconds in what has been a marathon game, as it is started at a little after 7, and we're going to be going till past 10.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, loose ball and a fumble, and it's recovered by Mount Zion. This has just been it's hard. It's getting hard right now to witness just what has been one of the weirdest games I've ever seen. And the turnover on downs responded to by Mount Zion recovering the fumble on a bad pitch.
I think I have to stop saying the words "the game is over" because every single time that Loyola seems to be able to just lock it down and pretty much knee out the clock almost, Mount Zion just falls to the ball. I mean, this is one of the least controlled games I've ever seen, and it's honestly a great watch. But
and if you're wondering, I'm starving too. I mean, I am.
Yeah, apologies for interrupting a crucial play with that, but I am hungry.
So Blake Moore in the offense for Mount Zion back onto the field. Better field possession here as the ball went backwards inside the 20-yard line. Moore with time now, pressure coming. Flag is down and Moore goes down.
Yeah, that's gonna be the 4th sack, depending on this flag, and the flags have definitely been coming free and loose this game. What started off as a very clean game in the first quarter and a half turned into somewhat of a,
So sorting out stuff here.
Right now, it seems as if Mount Zion needs to take a shot at the end zone. I understand keeping it safe and not wanting to do a turnover that could be game-ending, but a shot at the end zone right now, especially with the penalty that seems to be moving Mount Zion forward, whatever that might have been. But that is a pretty it's going to be just crucial to try and get into the end zone quickly and get that 2-point conversion.
So it's a foul on Loyola, a personal foul, and there was a clock runoff. Even the clock was running, even though the officials threw a flag, is what Mount Zion fans are complaining about, as they should. But it's now 1st and goal for him with Moore back to throw. He throws it, and it is incomplete. It got into the hands of Bryce Gordon, but it bounced first.
Yeah, there's been a lot of
Another
low
flag
balls.
down.
Oh. There's been a lot of lower balls coming in from the Mount Zion side. It's been generally a well-quarterbacked game. Obviously, there's been a couple of interceptions, but that's really nothing to you know. It's not been that detrimental to the Mount Zion side. Obviously, the turnovers are not a positive, but the low balls are definitely more of an issue than some of these turnovers. They've been almost eliminating these wide receivers' chances of getting the balls in their hand, which is crucial. I mean, they're super fast. They're able to make people miss, and you have to get the ball in their hand first for them to do anything.
So, and then sportsmanlike conduct from Mount Zion that puts them back 15 yards after they got the first down on the Loyola penalty. So that makes it first and goal from the 25-yard line.
This is such a weird game.
Moore out to his right off the snap, and he completes it. And running out of bounds just shy of the 10-yard line is Bryce Gordon. So that helps the cause of needing 25 to get to the end zone. Puts them at about the 12-yard line as there is a Mount Zion player down, and we'll take a break. So we're back here, 9:49 left in the fourth quarter. It's 2nd down and goal from the 12-yard line.
2 men on the left side. Something to note if they go for it. Oh, never mind. They're equaling it out on the defensive side.
Mount Zion got the ball back in good field position after a Loyola fumble as Moore goes back to throw, goes on the screen. It was bobbled and then caught by Gordon, who is run out of bounds, and it will be third down.
That bobble right there is absolutely killer for that kind of screenplay. Screens rely on the wide receiver having the ball in their hands fast and being able to turn upfield and analyze the situation. And when you bobble it like that, you're just not going to be able to get many yards. Obviously, he made something out of it, but, you know.
Yeah, it definitely cost him some yards there, and that is crucial. It seems like we have another flag down. And it's funny because I mentioned earlier about there not being really any flags, and then the flags have just piled on, and this has become a molasses game as it's a holding penalty that puts the Warriors back to the 23-yard line, and it'll be second and goal from the 23. So they had it first and goal from the 25 and got a good gain, and then that's backed up with this holding penalty, and now it's more in the offense here, needing a lot to go. 10 on the play clock. 5-man Loyola rush, rolling and completing to Gordon again, and he's inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Again, another great passing play to kind of set them up in a scoring opportunity, because keep in mind, this team is not a team that's going to kick a field goal. This is obviously it's a third down, but this is really like a second down. I mean, they're going to take 2 more, opportunities. They're not going to shy away from that fourth down. But it's impressive to note that this defense for Loyola has stayed strong despite this, again, very slow and monotonous drive that is going on right now.
5 on the play clock. Ball is snapped on third down. Throwing to the end zone and incomplete as a flag comes out. And it is going to be a pass interference on Loyola, as that was G on the coverage. And it seemed like the Mount Zion defender was the one that pushed off, but that is not what the official saw. And that's going to be a first down for the Warriors.
So for those counting at home, I believe that is our 6th penalty since they got within, first and goal, and there's also an injury in there. So this specific drive has taken about 10 minutes.
About 10 minutes ago, it was just under 11 minutes, and now it's 8:46 on the clock as this game approaches 3 hours in total time. And it's still third down on the down marker, but now
it should be first down. Yeah.
Well, I think the play clock is at 0. So pass interference is a 5-yard penalty. It's still third down, and Rizzo is run backwards, and that'll make it a 4th down with the loss there. Again, clock was at 0. It isn't an automatic first down like it is in college and NFL, but still, just problems with the clock. And it's 4th and 10 on the field. 4th and 10. 4th and 4th and goal from the 10. It looks like we got a timeout.
Okay, for context on why we're laughing.
So back here for the fourth down play after, I mean, it's been a debacle. People are confused about the down as a timeout was called. You know, there's trainers on the field. And people are yelling about the clock, about the, the down. But it seems to be fourth down and goal from the 10-yard line for Mount Zion. That's what the down marker has, and that's what we got going on the field.
So, from what I can gather, just from listening in, it seems like there was a miscommunication of some kind about whether the downs were reset, and it's been causing trouble. The officiating team right now it seems to be having a couple of miscommunications, and it's been creating an interesting.
Rolling right. Resto running out of room, lost it into the end zone, and it's intercepted by Ezra Carter. That's his third interception of the game, and taking over is the Loyola Dons.
Seems like there's a flag again, and
no, there isn't a flag. The fans are just complaining or calling for one.
Apologies,
but it is Loyola taking over with the 24-point lead and 8:21 left.
So that does make it 3 interceptions from Ezra Carter. Let's get back to talking about football. That was a fantastic read by him, making sure that the man behind him didn't slip away. Obviously, that fourth down miscommunication is going to have to be mentioned. We don't know whether it was actually fourth down or first.
It was fourth down. I don't think it's an automatic first down in high school. But yeah. I'm not 100% sure as another flag comes out. And Worthington got the carry there.
Worthington very happy to see him running up the middle again. He's been doing great at it all night long. Obviously, they're just trying to turn the clock and get the people out of here because the crowd is starting to get rowdy. It's getting tiring. Almost impossible not to mention it. But this game has slowly turned from football into really just watching football players exist.
It's between just the actual play and the officiating and just the pacing of the part of the responsibility of the officials is to keep the game moving, and it has just not been done well at all.
Yeah,
and this is just getting it's a flag on Mount Zion, so it gives Loyola a first down. But I mean, this is just getting no one wants to be here at 10:03 with still 8 minutes and 9 seconds to go.
Yes, and obviously, just to note, we do appreciate the officiating crew for stepping in here and
absolutely. But
it
definitely, they've had their troubles as Worthington gets the carry.
Yeah.
Again.
Just have to call it, to give context to the game.
Right. And you can't play the game without him, and it's not an easy job. But it has towards the end of this, or more recently, has just kind of come undone here.
Yeah.
As Loyola just seems like they're trying to run down this clock and
get out of here. But
Get to the MIAA playoffs.
Yes, obviously we don't want to. We really, it seems like everyone just wants this game to be over. Obviously, Mount Zion was in it. That pick kind of, knock on wood, ended the game a little bit, and it seems like everyone just wants to get out of here with as little injuries as possible in what is pretty much a scrimmage. Again, another great run up the middle. Fantastic job pounding the rock and making sure that the Warriors, are not letting them just go and giving up, because I know that you can tell the players are tired. People are doing push-ups to stay awake. It is a late game, but it has been a great senior day for Loyola Blakefield.
Seniors have definitely stepped up and made plays. Ezra Carter, 3 interceptions. You saw the touchdown from Maurice G. Jaden Moore got into the end zone. As another run coming, and that'll bring up a fourth down.
That's going to just, again, I think that's going to take the clock down to 6 minutes. You have to note, it was 11 minutes on the clock about 20 to 25 minutes ago. So just to give some context as to why this game might be feeling a little bit slower for those watching at home, it's just been a very slow burn the past 5 minutes of game time.
So the Dons offense still out on the field, going for it on 4th down and 1. May see a sneak here from Cease, who is under center, as the defense comes up to the line and they give it off to the big Tommy Tucker, who moves the chains for Loyola.
That's something that we love to see. Tommy Tucker, not normally a running back, but it's his senior day, big day. Already had an impressive sack. And honestly, let the seniors have some fun. This game's definitely winding down. Loyola's just chewing clock again, trying to get out of here with the win. And really nice to see Tommy Tucker getting a chance to carry the rock in this game. You know, it's fun to see the seniors kind of having fun. Who would you say are some of the standout players of this game so far?
Well, like I just said, Ezra Carter,
Definitely.
Jaden Moore has been a huge offensive piece. And then Maurice G, you love to see him getting the touchdown, and he's been big. And the defensive end here, as another flag comes in here after, it seemed like after the play and the carry there.
We'll see what the penalty is, but you have to note that is a stoppage of clock. So at this point, the game has become a little bit less about football than it is just trying to get the game over with. You can just tell some of the coaches are ready to go. It is just, people are ready to go. So right now we're gonna run over what has been going well throughout the game, and it's definitely winding down. Seems like that was on Mount Zion.
So Mount Zion with the penalty, 15 yards, as the Dons move into their territory, and the clock ticks under 5 minutes.
Important to note, within this second half, I think there's been something crazy like 6 or 7 personal fouls on both sides. So I'd be interested to see if there is some sort of like exchange of words or something going on down there that's been causing this chippiness, because these are not rival teams. Again, I think they've only played twice. So it is a very important part of the game to note that these penalties have been consistently coming in on sportsmanlike personal fouls. It's probably because of the large amount of scoring, the big deficit, and the late time, and probably hunger. I'm hungry, if you guys couldn't figure out.
2nd down and 5 here. I assume Loyola just trying to run out this clock. And it's Russell, the sophomore, with the carry out to his left. And he goes down, getting a couple. 3rd down.
Yeah, they've been feeding him the rock a lot for a sophomore, and honestly, he's been delivering. It's nice when you, as a high school coach, can look at a junior and a sophomore and give them like the majority of touches for your offense. It's so crucial, and really, it makes you it opens up the amount of things that you can do going down the line when they become seniors, because you have now a year or two even to build your to have a secure running back position. It's it allows for you to build around them.
So now more complaining about the clock here, as it's at 3 minutes. Game clock's at 3 minutes.
A delay of game against Loyola Blakefield. Seems like that penalty's probably because of just trying to run the clock down to the fullest extent. Obviously, it does stop the clock, but I think Loyola's just trying to end this game, keep everybody safe and healthy, and have a fun senior day, as it has been for Loyola. 56 points is an obscene amount, especially considering how much the other team has, 32. There's been almost 100 points scored, so good job.
Cease is going to throw one, and on third down, close to the first down marker, but not quite there. It'll make it fourth down.
I'd be
and short.
interested to see if they bring out the kicking unit. Obviously, they have the nice lead with only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. But I think they are just going to try and run up the middle and end this game and really just try
Fourth
and
and
get
one
everybody out.
going for it. Cease with the sneak, and he's denied, it seems. We'll see the spot. And no, they're going to give Cease the first down with his forward progress. And with that, it may just be the last first down the Dons need. As the clock should be running. First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
It seems like Coach Zayu is really just letting this game draw to a close. This is the definition of Friday Night Lights. It's definitely a night.
It's Russell with the carry, getting forward for 5.
Yeah, they're probably going to move into taking a knee. Second down, I believe they're within the territory where they can just knee this game out and wrap it up. It's been a great game. It's been very entertaining.
Lot of scoring.
Lot of scoring. It's and the seniors, as we already said, lots of touchdowns for them. And not just touchdowns, but also obviously Ezra Carter with the 3 interceptions. But Giannis Kligas and Tommy Tucker playing great on the defensive side. Yeah, just a lot to be happy about as a Loyola Don today. And a lot of great plays.
Yeah, and
there's a bit of a flop.
And it's on to the MIAA conference playoffs, which I'm not sure on who Loyola will play. That depends on the games that are going on right now and tomorrow that will decide their seeding, I believe. But it's this will be the last play of this just marathon of a game with lots of scoring, and didn't move along very well. But it is just about it's finally going to come to an end here as the pitch goes in front to Robinson, and he goes down, and that will run out the rest of the clock and bring us to the end. Loyola winning 56-32 over Mount Zion Preparatory Academy. And in the 2 games they've played in the 2 seasons, Mount Zion's been alive. Loyola with wins over both of them, but a entertaining and fun game, Asher.
Absolutely. Right now, both teams look very set up for good, successful futures. Very impressive showings from everybody. And, yeah, a very fun game to call. Happy to say it's probably my last football game to call. So, you know, it was a good one to end it on.
Yeah. For Asher Davis, I'm Brooks Markle. Thank you for tuning in, and good night.